$999 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Why wait till Monday for your dental emergency? At Valley Urgent Dental, we know your pain cannot wait. Broken tooth, painful infections, sports injuries, we've got you covered. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are here when you need them most. Call them at 479-235-5655. Valley Urgent Dental is available on weekends when your regular dentist is closed. Valley Urgent Dental at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Do not wait. Your smile deserves immediate care.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see a chance of showers and storms. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be in the low to mid 80s. Tonight, chance of showers and storms, and overnight low will drop down in the mid to upper 60s. Tuesday, showers, occasional thunderstorms are high on Tuesday near 75. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Follow us on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown, Arkansas! How did he get that wide open?
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on HitThatLine.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well, take it to the
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What they were one race back.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Good morning. Hope everybody's doing all right today. It's ugly outside. Feels like a Monday at 11:01. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing halftime here on, I don't even know what to call this one today.
Basketball season.
Yeah, let me just start it with the pleasantries, okay? Good morning, Christian Johnston. Good morning, Matt Jones. I hope you guys had a great weekend outside of the hours of 11 to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. Everything else was good. That part of the weekend, not so much.
Happy Monday, everybody. The sky's not falling. That's for sure. Life will go on. And we go on to basketball. I don't see two more wins on this roster. I mean, I don't see two more wins looking at that schedule. So I think they released the basketball schedule last week.
Was that strategic?
Did we have somebody on this radio show that said the Hogs were going to win 9 games? Or there was somebody at this station that said the Hogs were going to win. How do you have a radio show and you say the Hogs are going to win 9 games?
I got to tell you, I think maybe it was a basketball thing. That's the only thing.
Basketball team will win 9 games.
They'll win 9 conference games at least. That's my guess. Yeah, I mean, I was going into this season telling you I am not making any predictions on this year because I don't know with all the changeover, what will be different from last year to this year. You know what? It turns out there might not be that much different. It's like I saw things against Memphis on Saturday that we saw a lot last year. Fumbles at the most inopportune times. Heck, that's now the defining characteristic about this season outside of a defense that's really, really struggling to tackle and bring people down to the ground. Penalties, the most inopportune times. A team that looked ill-prepared at times for a game that maybe they thought they had won when they're up 28-10, and then it turns out it's the worst blown lead by an FBS school so far this year. And now I have a sense of what we're going to see this season. Based on the Alabama A&M and the Arkansas State games, you can't go off anything off those 2 games. You can go by what you've seen in the last 2 weeks against much better competition. Obviously, Ole Miss, that's a game that you probably could have won if you hold on to the ball. And then there's the Memphis game, which you should have won. You're up 28-10 against a team that you are physically better than. Now, I will say this, and I heard you mention this on Hog Reaction Saturday, Matt. Physically better does not mean you're in better shape. And I don't know if Arkansas was in better shape in the second half. When the sun came out and it got all hot, those guys were sucking wind.
Well, that first quarter, it's like a heavyweight. I mean, I'm not saying heavyweight title fight because we're not going to be playing for any titles, but it's like a heavyweight boxing match. What did Memphis do in that first quarter? Had the ball 10 minutes. Just wearing you down. And then you got to the end of the third quarter, middle of the fourth quarter. We didn't look like we had anything left. And that's not talent. That's just being in shape and you need a better game plan. It's like, hey, we're an offense. I mean, I don't know how you can't run the ball. I don't know how Braylon Russell only gets 5 touches. There's a lot of questions. It's like, give me some answers for this. Braylon Russell, fourth quarter. I thought my little brain, which I'm not very smart, but my brain's thinking Braylon Russell's fresh in the fourth. We're about to give them a dose of him in the fourth quarter and just run. They didn't want to tackle him in the fourth quarter, and he's sitting on the sideline.
Yeah, well, they didn't want to tackle him in the fourth quarter, but I don't think Arkansas wanted to give him the ball in the fourth quarter, which is amazing to think about for a guy that would be a great second half running back when you have the lead. And that's my understanding of, I think, what Bobby Petrino wants to do. I think, you got a guy like Russell on the club, and he's just kind of sitting there in the end. And so I'm not putting it just on not running Braylon Russell in the second half because this Arkansas defense right now is just going to struggle to cover anybody and tackle anybody at the moment. I understand it's a different sort of an offense than you faced with Memphis, but Matt, keep in mind that Brendan Lewis, all the overthrows of wide open receivers in the first half. So they're up 28-10 in the first half. I mean, it really could have been a tie ball game if Lewis doesn't miss about 4 or 5 wide open receivers. And that's also an aspect that we saw from last year. Arkansas was one of the worst defenses in the country last year at allowing big plays, and it's happening again. I mean, there's never a good time to allow a big play, but talk about an inopportune time to allow a long touchdown run, and then you can't end up getting into the end zone yourself.
Into the second quarter, you let that guy push you away from the ball and takes it from you. It's a mindset. Playing defense, I say this, man, these kids are super talented. Don't get me wrong. But playing defense is a mindset. You almost have to be a crazy person to play defense because you have to love contact. You have to love physicality. We don't have that. And I'm not saying the whole team because there's a couple dudes on the team that are some really good players that like, but on the outside, like run fit, trying to be physical, impose your will, we don't have any of that. We're soft, we're timid, we kind of tepid. You're just kind of going about. You're not going to beat anybody if you're not a physical defense. You got to have speed and you got to have physicality. We're just too soft on the defensive side of the ball.
And Matt, that's against Memphis.
That's what I mean.
That's Memphis.
Yeah.
That's a good team. I don't want to sound like we're ripping Memphis or saying that they're the dregs of FBS. That's one of the best group of 5 programs. That's a program-defining win right now for Memphis.
That's Coach Pittman's second worst loss. Liberty at home had to be his worst loss, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some bad. That's a bad. The reason why it's a bad loss and it's one of the worst is because of the lead you had. You had the type of lead you have and you let it slip away. I mean let's think about this. His worst losses to his best wins. What's he have? 2 good wins? Like he's beaten 2 teams he shouldn't have beat, and then then he's lost 8 games where you're like, oh man, and then we just keep running it out there again. Like, hey, that's what we're gonna keep doing. It hurts to watch, man. It's like I don't like watching bad sports. People that are bad at their job. There's a lot of people that are bad at their job that still have a job.
It's understood that this season it was the year that you had to make a move forward, some sort of progress to show from last year. So you could show a couple years in a row that you're getting better and a little bit better each year. I think that's what we saw last year. They were a little bit better than the year before. This right now, I'm not ready to say that they're any better than the year before. And honestly, if you're looking to make the postseason and just say, hey, at least we're a bowl team, whatever 6-win bowl it is, right now, this is not a bowl team. This is not a bowl team. If you can't cover, you can't tackle, you're not running the ball when you have the lead. And some of the decisions, too, it's not just all on the players. Look, I understand about the Jimmies and the Joes, but I think this Arkansas team, these Jimmies and these Joes, are better football athletes overall. I'm not going to say better players than Memphis because Memphis played better on Saturday. But
they wanted it more. I think you're right. The team that wanted it more was Memphis.
What this is about, look, if you want to look to the things that are similar from last year to this year, your quarterback is similar. Taylon Green looked like he regressed after looking so good the previous 3 weeks. Your coaching staff is the same. It's exactly the same outside of the secondary coach, and still the secondary is getting beat. Bobby Petrino, he's not been a savior. Don't point to the ranking of total offense last year or this year. How about 10 points in the second half of the last 2 weeks? How about not running the ball with any success? 1st down and 10 in the second half, this team is running for negative yardage. And you got to figure out a way out of that. I mean, if you're going to be a genius offensive coordinator, you figure a way out of that. So there's that. And then Travis Williams and the defense, and I understand the idea about his energy and relatability to the players, but his defense the past 2 years has been one of the worst defenses at allowing big plays. So I don't care how he relates to the guys. He's getting out schemed, especially in second halves these last 2 weeks. It's just been bad to watch. And you want to put it all on the Jimmies and the Joes? It isn't just on them. You want to look to a reason why you consistently lose close games. It's never just one play. It's an amalgamation of all those things of what your program is about put together. And if over the course of a 6-year period, your record is so poor in one-score games, 7-19, that's not unlucky. That's not refereeing. That isn't the ball didn't bounce our way. That's not, well, they have scholarships too. That's not, we don't have the Jimmies and the Joes, and it's not, we don't have proper funding. What it is not being attentive to detail, penalties, not holding onto the ball, not tackling well, getting out-coached in the second half, poor decision-making, whether by the athlete or the coaches, personnel decisions, and an inability to cover defensively. Not one of those things has anything to do with luck, refereeing, or the ball now bouncing your way, or paying homage to the fact that the other guys on the other side of the ball are scholarship athletes as well. It's a program thing. After 5.5 years, this is what it is. And that's the only way that I can put it. There are no excuses to make about it. It's just the numbers speak for themselves by this point. And I think if you watch football enough, or heck, if you watch sports enough, any kind of team game, you're well aware that those one-run losses, those 3-point losses in a basketball game, a 5-point loss or a 1-point loss in a football game has a lot to do with how you're running your program. It's not look, you can point people, well, at least Sam covers. He didn't cover against Memphis, so enough about the covering. That, to me, is the defining characteristic about the team. It's not being that close to being good. It's the things that lead to the close losses, which all means right now you're not a good program. It's unfortunate. It is, because you can point to the thought that, well, if they don't fumble the last 2 weeks, you win those games. What is a defining characteristic about the program over the last 2 years and really over the course of 5 years? Fumbling is another aspect of this. I know they're talking about it. I know they're trying to teach it. Maybe having a different running back who doesn't fumble. Braylon Russell's never fumbled in his career. I mean, it's only been not even a season and a half, but right there might be an answer for you. He doesn't fumble.
Well, you don't do this either at this level. You don't run the same formation, same play 3 times in a row. The other guys are good, too. They start timing things up. You're going to go out there and run the same play 3 times in a row out of the same – it's like, hey, let's do a little bit something else to scheme it. That safety's smart. He kind of dicks in there and gets in there and is able to punch it out. It's and then on defense, I don't know if it's a product of motivation – you don't know, because to play defense in the SEC, you got to like violence. You got to like contact. I mean, at the beginning, at the foundation, you got to like contact. We got a lot of guys on defense that are kind of, push them away. They don't really like contact.
Well, we want to make contact with our listeners and see what you think about this, because everybody's hurting in Arkansas. Unless you're really, I think there are a lot of fans right now. We're kind of thinking, you know what? I'm not going to openly root for a loss, but if you've been one of the fans who's been openly demanding a change at the top, maybe there are some folks who look at that and are like, thank goodness it finally happened, because this is the inflection point.
I think you got to St. Louis Cardinals this stuff. You got to just not show up. Like I'm going to the game this week, Notre Dame game, but as we go on these home games, you got to just not show up. I don't know how else you make a point to say we want change instead of just you show up to the game late in the year and there's 10,000 people at the stands. I think everybody will get the point.
Well, that is the way that fans make their.
How else can we do it? They just keep asking for more money for this. You're asking for more money for that. That's what we're paying money for, to go 2-10. I mean, Hunter Kander Yurichek was right. I mean, he was 100% right. His candor has no bounds.
And it couldn't have been any worse for the comments from Monday and the discussion around it all week, and then the result of the game. Arkansas, by the way, there are 3 SEC teams that have lost an out-of-conference game so far this year. You probably know who they are. Texas lost to Ohio State on the road. Alabama lost at Florida State, and Arkansas lost at Memphis. Those are the 3. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Hotline.
Maybe we call that Memphis coach. He kind of knows how to beat I don't know. Maybe you give that Memphis coach a call. He seems to be winning there. Well, there's about 9 players on that Memphis team that I like that could come on. Bring about 8-7 of those guys. That number 13, that running back that was hurt, that was just coming back, he's their best running back, and he didn't even get to play. Let's get him over here.
All right, we open up the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Want to hear from you. Calls and texts, 877-377-6963. Arkansas football is the topic. What do you have to say? Back right after this.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
We're talking with legendary Arkansas running back Felix Jones here on the Morning Rush. You could hoop a little bit back in the day, couldn't you?
Man, I tried, yeah. That was actually my first kind of love in sports. And my dad was playing, and then Grover called us. So we had to go other places, and I took all the ability I had from each and every sport to take the football, and it seemed to work perfectly.
This is the Morning Rush, weekdays from 9 to 11, only on ESPN 95.3.
No one's going to get Felix Jones.
Up to $11,000 off on select G.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 470 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all. I'm gonna be just a bit close my eyes. But I could have died. So I'll never fall one day to believe in you. Tell me, sweet little lies. Tell me lies. You can't disguise. You can't disguise.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Like Chris Lowe had a scoop, Matt, on the SEC schedules for the next 4 years. They're supposed to be released tomorrow by the league on that packaged television show on SEC Network. But Lowe's got the annual opponents already, and he tweeted it out. I don't know if people are really all that interested in this at the moment because you'd rather this football season not spiral into an utter disaster. But he's reporting Hogs will get Mizzou, Texas, and LSU each year over the next 4 seasons. We thought it'd be Ole Miss, but apparently LSU, and I like that. I would be happy. I've been fine either way here, but I do like the LSU series. So, but you know what? That's next season, and it's not this season where Arkansas is 2-2, and I think that's what people are a little more interested in talking about right now. So let's go to the Lewis Automotive Hotline, and here's DJ in Fayetteville. He's up first. DJ, you're batting lead off on a Monday. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on Sam Pittman's record in one-score games. They actually corrected me when I first called in, and they said it's 7-20. And, you know, we've changed coaches, we've changed quarterbacks, we've changed our system, and everything still leads to the same road. If it's not an absolute blowout, Arkansas is going to find a way to lose. I mean, I think there was Arkansas fans around the state that while we were up 18 in the third quarter, we all looked at each other and laughed and said, so how are we going to lose this one? Right. And whether or not, you know, we took it to heart, we all kind of still made the joke because this just happens over and over and over. And I'm not sure what the solution is other than, you know, some type of new coaching from Sam Pittman or Juracek or some type of cultural issue that makes us believe that we can finish a football game. Because as of right now, you know, the players believe we're cursed. You know, the fans believe we're cursed. There's all types of things. It's like we built a football team on an Indian burial ground.
I've heard that guess before. I'm not quite sure, DJ, but based on some of the things we see at end of football games, I wouldn't doubt that there's a possibility that you can have maybe a voodoo doll or something that somebody's poking. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like if you look throughout, you know, every year is different. I always make that point. Every season is different. But when the things that do you in consistently over the course of this time period, well, then that becomes like the vein that runs through the years where all the players are different and some of the coaches are different, but the results end up somewhat similar. And that's unfortunately what you're seeing here. It's like I remember during the baseball season, I would try to tell, look, this is a different season than the year before. This lineup looks better than they did last year. And then as you go throughout the season, guess what? They were better because they made changes and the personnel worked. And the coaches coached towards that kind of personnel. Well, I think you're seeing a lot of the same problems with the offense that you might have seen at times last year. Now, the first 3 weeks, that might not have been visible, but I think it was this last week. Taylor a little bit more locked in on Omega Blake than the other receivers who might have been open. A couple of interceptions could be the result of that. Fumbles haven't just been last year. I mean, that's over the course of 5 years in which Arkansas has fumbled the ball over 100 times. So that also is a characteristic of it. And a defense that struggles to tackle. We saw that last year. We're seeing it this year too, even with different personnel. So I don't know. It's like you look for the common denominator amongst these results, and the common denominator ends up the man at the top. Gary in Springdale next on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Hi, Gary. How are you?
Oh, hey, I'm doing great. Still, Matt, love listening to you guys. Matt, you're my favorite Razorback ever. I hope you know that.
Thank you.
There's a point I want to make here that I don't think I've heard all morning. I haven't listened to everything, but what happened at the last play of the first half? We had 11 seconds to go, and they punted the ball. Why did we not take a shot to the end zone? We have a quarterback that could have threw it to the end zone. We have a quarterback that was able to buy time to kill some time off the clock. We have receivers that can climb walls and catch fly balls. Why did not we take a shot to the end zone with 11 seconds to go at the end of the first half?
Well, in defense, that receiver that used to climb walls and catch outfield and catch center field fly balls is injured, so I don't think he was even on the trip. So you can't go with Monte Harrison. So I'm just looking here at the end of it here. Where was that play from? It's from the Memphis. That's the end of the first half. The last. Yeah. What are you going to do from the 25-yard line? Throw a 75-yard Hail Mary and give Memphis the ball on your 25? I'm not quite sure about that. The problem, Gary, wasn't the last play that Arkansas had. of that half. It's letting Memphis score in 54 seconds on a 52-yard drive. A minute 35, and you had a chance to tackle Lewis in the backfield on that drive and just kill it, but they missed him, and the next thing you know, they're in the end zone. So you can't let those things happen. 6 plays, 75 yards, 1 minute, 4-second drive, and they scored touchdown with 31 seconds left. So that to me is the problem. It's not necessarily Arkansas not throwing a Hail Mary was what it sounds like at the end there, because they did throw 3 times on the last drive that they had in the first half. Next is Juwan in Fayetteville. Hi, Juwan. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, Phil. I am disgusted with what we put out there on the field, man. And everybody's blaming Coach Pittman, but Coach Pittman can't teach these dudes to have heart. We played with no heart out there. We got comfortable. We thought we were up, and that's why we lost the game. Everybody wants to talk bad about Coach Pitt. Tell Xavier Sori to go make a tackle on that quarterback. That quarterback left him in the dust. He's supposed to be an SEC player. Those running backs for Memphis, they ran the ball hard. DeRosier, the Smith, that running back that ran the touchdown for the 60-plus yards. Those dudes were playing with a lot of heart, a lot of fire, and I did not see that from our Arkansas Razorbacks at all.
Juwan, let me cut in real quick here and just ask you a question. You've got really good football acumen. Is the way that a team plays, the desire that they show, is that reflective of the head coach and the sort of atmosphere that he allows around the team, or is that just on the players?
I think it's when they hit the field, they think that they're just going to win by rolling the ball out. That's what we thought Saturday. We thought we were going to roll the football out there and go win. Yes, we scored on the third play of the game. We put up 3 points in that second half. Omega Blake had a wide-open pass, hit him right in the hands, and he looked at his hands like, why did my hands let me down? And I'm tired of seeing this half-ass effort. I know I bring up Grant Morgan a lot. People don't realize Grant Morgan had a broken elbow and went out there and gave it everything he had every single time. And this is, I'll leave it right here, Phil. We've got to quit acting like Taylor Green can run like Matt Jones. That dude is slow. He couldn't run away from those Memphis defenders. They were making tackles. Memphis was a solid tackling team. Did you see any broken tackles besides when Braylon Russell ran over some dudes? Those dudes were sticking. Man, that comes from heart and playing ball. I appreciate you guys. I'm fired up this Monday about this team, though, because it's not the coach, it's these players. We've got to do better.
Thanks very much, Juwan. Appreciate it. 877-377-6963. All right, we're going to need a break in a moment because we got Mike Irwin coming up with us on half. There's a lot of time for calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. And I know there's a lot of blame to go around, and I think the blame goes to everybody in the football program. Truthfully, it goes to everyone. An 18-point loss against Memphis, no matter where it takes place. That's something that everybody in the Fred Smith Football Center needs to be able to take a look inwardly and think, what is it that I'm doing that I need to change so that we can start winning some of these close games. Sam Pittman said as much after the game on Saturday. All right, we got Mike Irwin joining us on halftime right after this break.
You see the best in basketball when you watch the NBA. When you watch the NBA on CBS.
This is halftime.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Back to school means back on your feet, and True Grit Running Company has you covered. Whether you're a student, teacher, nurse, or retail warrior, our footwear keeps you moving in comfort and style. Shop top brands and discover new ones. Plus, the best socks, insoles, and gear that'll keep you going strong all year long. This season, step into success at True Grit Running Company, where comfort meets grit. Located on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Run in today before the bell rings. True Grit Running Company, fueled by passion, built for you.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith. Dave and the crew at Eastside Liquor have everything you need. Football is back, and so is their Oktoberfest beers. Make sure you try their ready-to-drink cocktails and their outstanding bourbon selection. 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, with a convenient drive-through. You can also give them a call at 479-452-7311. Eastside Liquor, everyday low prices on beer, wine, spirits, and cigars.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Dear, I fear we're facing a problem. You love me no longer, I know, and maybe there is nothing that I can do to make you do. Mama tells me I shouldn't bother, that I ought to stick to another man, a man that surely deserves me, but I think I do.
Welcome back to halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Big Trail Nation's Mike Irwin with us on a Monday morning to react to a loss against Memphis. Mike's been an interesting couple of days. The game was interesting in and of itself. What are you thinking this morning?
I'm thinking that it makes no sense. This team is better than that. I expected some problems on defense, and the defense continues to get worse, and it's baffling a lot of people, not just me. It's also, I think, was a surprise to see the way they adjusted to Arkansas's offense in the second half. I mean, if you got to believe that other coaches now that will be facing Arkansas will use that game video as a perfect weapon to prepare for Arkansas, because Memphis did a lot of stuff to really address the problems on defense and attack Arkansas's offense. I mean, the offense, it looks like to me now the key to stopping the offense is blitz pressure, try to get off Arkansas's offensive lineman confused, put Taylor Green back in the position he was in last year where he's having to throw the ball without going through his progressions, and he tends to overlook people, throw to the wrong, look at a wide receiver and miss. So
what is it we're not very talented, we just don't want it, we're out of shape? What's the deal with 10 points in the last 4 quarters of second half football with this Bobby Petrino offense?
Again, I think they got to Arkansas's. I think they got through Arkansas's offensive line. I think they forced Taylor Green to throw sometimes without going through all of his progressions. I think he's not quite as quick as he was a year ago, and I think they put people out ready to go wide to keep him from turning the corners. I think they caught him off guard that one time when they were in field goal range. Sam Pittman said that was the real turning point in the game. They're set up to kick a field goal with about 7 minutes to go in the game that would have put them up and would have forced Memphis to score and then go for 2. And instead, you get him sacked and you're out of field goal range.
Mike, all of this stuff in the Memphis loss, and we usually talk about the game we just watched and the one that's going to come up in the future here. What is the likelihood of keeping this whole thing together? What does Sam need to do to keep the job and this coaching staff? And I don't think you'd keep the whole coaching staff together based on what we've seen the last 2 weeks, but a lot of folks think it's a foregone conclusion. Maybe it is, just based on what we saw last week. What does Sam have to do to keep the job?
Well, we're going to see. He's got a press conference coming up, so we'll see if there's a change on defense. A lot of people have been focusing on Travis Williams. I had somebody tell me this morning he thinks if Pittman makes a change, it may be more on the D-line, that's a bigger, a more pressing issue than the overall defense. Here's the thing about that. Frank Boyle's always had this attitude that in a situation like this, you can't have crickets. You know where you have crickets? Over Oklahoma State, that thing has fallen apart on them, and nobody's saying anything. The athletic department's not doing anything. Gundy's not doing anything. And when you have crickets, you can't convince anybody that's out there in the fan base that anybody's in charge of anything. So I've got to believe that something has to happen. And whether or not, you had Brandon Marcello, who's got good sources, used to work around here. He goes on his podcast yesterday and says Petrino is working behind the scenes to get this job, and that he is correct in saying that when they make these in-season changes, it's always right before an open date week. So you could have something happen along those lines next week. Or you could have Sam Pittman making a change next week or this week. I'm not sure. But to keep it together, the first thing that has to happen without any changes is they got to win the Notre Dame game. And that's going to be difficult. I watched that game. They're a very unusual football team. They mainly grind it out. They're a running team, and you really want to play? If you're Arkansas right now, do you really want to play a team that generates 300 yards on offense on the ground? Because this is not a good team to stop the run. They don't throw the ball well, and their pass defense is not all that good. So maybe if Taylor Green got hot, if the receivers got open, they could outscore these guys. But really, when you talk about Arkansas's defense stopping a really good running team, as opposed to Arkansas being able to throw on a team that doesn't stop the pass very well, I got to go with Notre Dame.
So, blowing an 18-point lead on the road, I thought you're supposed to be a team that will run to win. Matt and I got into it in the first segment. Do you start running Braylon Russell more in the second? I like Mike Washington. And actually, before that fumble, he was chewing up a lot of yardage on that last drive. I think that might have been his 5th or 6th carry of that drive. But we never saw Russell in the second half. I think he got maybe 2 carries, 3
5
carries
total touches
at Ole Miss in the second half too. And I understand that was different because you were playing from behind, not playing to run. And essentially, and this goes, Matt, to the heart of what you talk about, is you win and lose as a team. You can point to the defense really struggling, but we know the defense struggles. You need to run the ball when you have the lead, and they just couldn't run it. They were 2nd and 13, 2nd and 14. And, man, it's once you saw that happening, well, the defense is going to get on the field a lot more, and that's just not a good thing.
That's a problem with the offensive line. That's one of the things that's not talked about enough. This was supposed to be a major change for the better. And to me, we already see they have pass blocking issues if they have to face a blitz. We see that they don't always run block really well. They do at times, but at times they don't. And this just brings back, all of this comes back, and I can't argue against it. All of this comes back to you've got a head coach that has to solve these problems. He's an offensive line guy himself, and he can't solve this problem where he's replaced this in much of this offensive line, and they still can't run block at times. Why is that? It makes no sense to me.
Well, and last week was just a wild week, Mike, even before the game, because of, Hunter's comments at the Little Rock Touchdown Club and the nationwide conversation that it really did spark, and inside the state, and obviously a lot more intense. It's just when those comments have absolutely nothing to do with losing to Memphis. Nothing. You can point to the amount of money Notre Dame may have and the kind of athlete that they can get compared to Arkansas and a few of the other schools in the SEC too. It's just, though, now that sort of thing falls on deaf ears when you lose a game where you got more money than the opponent by far, and just overall better athletes. And that's why last week could not have gone any worse for Arkansas football or Arkansas athletics.
Well, I still say the comments shouldn't have been made. And it wasn't just the comment about we don't have the money to win big in football. It was that whole big deal about why nobody's asking, okay, if you're saying that, why don't you have the money? Because that's your job to raise the money. And what I look at is the damage that's going to be done with that to Arkansas's recruiting, because you've just given everybody that recruits against Arkansas talking points. Here's your own AD at Arkansas saying they don't have any money. Why do you want to fool with them? And then there's that whole bizarre thing where he was talking about, well, I guess everybody's cheating. I don't want to cheat, but maybe we have to cheat. Well, if you're going to cheat, I don't think you should tell people, even if that's what you're going to do. But I agree with you. All of that is separate from what happened in that game. And I've defended Sam Pittman. I've done it, I did it in the off season, but I can't defend him right now. He's in charge of that situation, and it's going bad. And he's the guy ultimately that has to figure out what's going on. I mean, do you really just have a defense they have such a lack of depth, and you got into that was the first game this year where you started 11 and it got hot. And it got hotter as the day went on. So maybe those guys wore out. And then maybe that's why the defense got worse at the end. But if that's it, you need to talk about that.
That's on the coaching staff. That's 100%. If that's the thing, that's not having a hard enough camp, and then that's very remedial. That's below football 101. How are you a football coach at this level and you don't understand that it's going to get hot and these players got to get some breaks and we got to rotate guys? I mean, that's push league by the coaches.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they should have rotated more. Maybe you wore out Cam Ball. Maybe you wore out those starters. And that's why they look so bad at the end. I don't know. I'm not out there. I'm just speculating on what might have happened. But the truth is, Matt, I can't explain it.
Yeah.
Because when I look at this team, it's not like when Chad Morris was here. you could see why they were losing back then. I look at this team and I think, they're better than this. They may not be outstanding, but they should have been able to win that game. And then what we come down to also is, and this is bizarre, but if you don't have those two fumbles, they may be sitting here at 4-0 and nobody's talking about all these issues. I don't know. But how do you, somebody made the point or asked one of the questions on Ask Mike, does somebody on the sidelines, when they had the 2-minute warning, did they not just emphasize over and over again, hang on to the ball, hang on to the ball? And maybe they did, and he fumbled anyway. I mean, that does happen at times.
Well, the Memphis defender made a great play, that's for sure.
Well, you don't run the same flip and play 3 times in a row out of the same formation. Do you not understand that they're good too? They start timing things up, like maybe do something. We're going to run the same. That's 7th grade football right there. All right, we're going to run the same play over and over and over. It's like, come on.
To me, if that's your strategy to get one, burn their timeouts, what you need to do is just have Taylor Green take a knee. Let them burn their timeouts and then kick your field goal. That way you don't run a risk of a fumble. But when you send a guy right up the middle like that, and he's fighting for extra yards, and I don't know why he fought for extra yards. Once he got it, just go to your knees and go down. But anyway, it still happened. And again, I agree with Matt. It does go back to coaching. I mean, who else are you going to blame that on? You can't blame it on the fans. You can't just sit here and blame it on players. You coached them, and you were the one that had the strategy at the end of the game, just like the week before, where you're trying to burn the clock out, and all of a sudden it doesn't work the way you were trying to make it work.
Mike, I know Sam starts the press conference in a little less than 12 minutes, so we'll let you get to that. Appreciate you on these Mondays all the time. Thank you so much.
I don't think I told you guys anything because I don't know.
Well, I don't think we know either, but that's why we have conversations.
We still appreciate your time, Mike.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mike
Irwin, Pig Trail Nation, with us every Monday on Halftime. And we can open up the Lewis Automotive Hotline for you now at 877-377-6963. Remember, Roback.com. You want to upgrade your closet, even your Arkansas Game Day closet. The University of Arkansas Game Day collection is at Roback.com with the coolest looking hoodies, polos, and Q-zips. And you can get 20% off your first order at Roback.com when you use the code RUSH25 at checkout, RHOBACK.com. Roback, where action meets comfort. And we're back to wrap up hour number 1 right after this.
And a snake did scare the tuna when I was 4. He jumped out at the tuna. That was it with me on snakes.
This is Halftime.
Price apps and taps are back at Joe's Grill and Cantina every Arkansas game day. Wear your hog gear and get half-price apps and taps at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Enjoy 10 layer dip, chimney paquitos, the ultimate sampler, and Mexican pizza, all half price during Arkansas games. And all your favorite beers on tap are half price. Half price apps and taps during every Arkansas game. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Archery deer season is getting closer, and Infinity Sports and Outdoors has all your archery needs and more. Infinity Sports has top compound bows and crossbows, all tuned and ready to shoot. Expert bow techs with years of experience are on site and ready to get you dialed in to hunt. Need gear? Infinity Sports and Outdoors has tree stands, saddles, plus blinds from Banks Outdoors. Find all your hunting needs now at Infinity Sports and Outdoors, 3700 Highway 71 North in Alma.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission is to improve the quality of life in our communities. Across the River Valley of Arkansas and Oklahoma, residents and businesses are experiencing the difference of our high-speed internet. Wave Rural Connect Internet provides a reliable residential connection for streaming, gaming, remote work, and homeschooling. Our business solutions provide the speed, stability, and security that you need, whether you're a mom-and-pop flower shop or large business. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
When electrical needs pop up, don't get left in the dark. Call the local team that's trusted on and off the field. Harrison Electric. That's who homeowners and local businesses choose. Harrison Electric. Honest, dependable, and they leave no mess behind. From quick fixes to major upgrades, Harrison Electric is your go-to for all your electrical projects. Don't sit on the sideline with electrical problems. Get back in the game with the pros you can count on. Harrison Electric. Honest, quick, trusted. 652-3077.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Now I'm not myself. I am Jekyll, I am Hyde. This place too hard, come seek me. Oh, so up and down, so back and forth, so insecure. Can't get this taste out of my mouth. Follow it down, pretend.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Right to the Lewis Automotive Hotline to wrap up hour number one. Get Keith and BB here. Keith, we got a couple minutes for you. What's going on?
Hey, not much. How's it going?
Doing good, thank you.
Matt, I want to let you know we're holding down the fort down at BB for you, bro.
Thank
we got
you.
you down here.
I love it.
You bet. Hey, couple things on the last caller when he said, "Oh, Green was very fast, man." I mean, looks are deceiving. That dude can cover some ground real quick. I mean, we never thought you'd run a 4.34, Matt, but you could lay it down on the field. Next thing is the demeanor that Pittman has on the sidelines. Sometimes I question that. I mean, you look at Saban, Sweeney, Venable, just the fire that they had on the sidelines. Sometimes I just don't think that generates to the players. Matt, you know best, man. I mean, sometimes you got to have in your face kind of coaching. And Pittman, I don't think has that. I've never seen it. Houston Nutt, you may not like him, but that dude would coach you up to run through a brick wall. I mean, we've seen that from him. Next is our running back coach. I mean, Kelly Smith, Mike kind of stole my thunder there. Is he not on the sidelines telling them guys to hold on to the ball, get 2 or 3 yards, get down, get the field goal, and let's get out of here? I mean, that's all I got. I'll hang up and listen to you. I appreciate you guys.
Hey, it's good to hear from you. I appreciate the phone call very much, Keith. Thank you. 877-377-6963. Go ahead, Matt.
You know, Mike Washington, he's a heck of a football player, and I know he didn't wake up in the morning and think I'm going to fumble the ball. I'm not blaming him for that. I've done that. We've all you make a play at the end of the game, or sometimes they make a play. I don't want to be hard on that kid. But yes, that's a thing. You're exactly right. Where you have the backup running back and you're sitting there with your arm around him and you're like, You're going in. Don't fumble the ball. 2 hands on the ball, and you send him in there. I mean, it's a simple thing.
All right, we go to hour number 2. We'll keep it simple and keep it open for you on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. 877-377-6963. 3 up, 3 down, 20 minutes. Otherwise, wide open when we come back.
Don't miss the big porch sale at Gelco Outdoors. Casual clothing, work clothing, and hunting clothing for men, women, and children. Clothing is priced at 50% off the lowest price, which means savings of 75% or more off the original price. Brands like Ariat, Browning, Wrangler, Drake, Non-Typical, and more. Save up to 75% off at Gelco Outdoors Porch Sale, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
When you purchase any new or pre-owned vehicle from Road Chevrolet, we'll throw in a $500 Amazon gift card. $500. That's right. Get the car of your dreams and start your shopping spree. But you better hurry. This offer won't last forever. Visit Road Chevrolet today and turn your purchase into a $500 shopping bonanza. Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway. The deals and amazing wheels come together. See dealer for details.
Artie's Original Bag is back, now with even more full-size sandwiches. Choose any 2. The new spicy chicken sandwich, hot ham and cheese, hand-breaded chicken tender wrap, or charbroiled double cheeseburger. Mix and match any 2. With fries and a drink, just $6.99. Why settle for junior burgers? Get big savings on full-size goodness in Hardee's Country. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary. See app for terms.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see a chance of showers and storms. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be in the low to mid 80s. Tonight, chance of showers and storms. And overnight low will drop down in the mid to upper 60s. Tuesday, showers, occasional thunderstorms are high on Tuesday near 75. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Catch Sam Pittman live every Wednesday night at 7, only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Fight like hell for the University of Arkansas the entire time that I'm the head coach.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What angle one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Back on halftime, hour number 2, and we're glad to have you with us at 12:01 in the afternoon on a Monday. And I don't know. This feels like 2 Mondays rolled into one after a 1-point loss against Memphis on the road on Saturday. Matt, I don't know if you remember when Neil Atkinson was on with us on Friday from Bet Sarah's, and he had told us that his computer model had a final score. Now, I may get one of the numbers wrong. See, you may remember it. I don't remember.
I thought about that.
I remember if Neil said 33-32 or 32-31. Which one was it?
33-32, but man, was that not spot on?
He missed it by 2 points, or the computer model missed it by 2 points, and
That's
they got
the two extra points they didn't kick.
That's exactly right. You're right. Wow. I mean, the computer model nailed it. And then there are there's various computer models about whatever game's about to be played. I've seen some that say that Arkansas will beat Notre Dame by 6. So let's try to wrap our minds around that for a moment. 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Man, it's 8 group of 5 losses for the Hogs in the last 14 seasons. Monroe, Toledo, Monroe was under Smith. Toledo was under Bielema. Morris lost to 4 group of 5 teams: Colorado State, North Texas, San Jose State, Western Kentucky, and now this is the second loss under Sam. Liberty and Memphis. And I don't know many other programs in the power conferences that have lost that many games to group of 5 programs. I'd really rather not do the research on it. We've got Fred in Fayetteville on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Good afternoon, Fred. Thanks for holding. How are you?
Hello.
Hey, Fred, you're on the air.
Hey, a couple of questions. One, would this AD consider letting Bobby Petrino be head coach again? And question number 2 would be, who do you think would make a good AD? And this is for Matt. Hey, Matt, we still love you up in Northeast Arkansas. We still think you're one of the hot quarterbacks that Arkansas ever had, and I'll close out. Thank you, sir.
Oh, man. Well, thank you for your kind words. Yeah, it's tough times right now, and here's the thing, and you got to go back to what Hunter's talked about. I don't know that football is a priority. His priority is, what is it, the Director's Cup? It's about being good overall in everything. And if you look at Arkansas sports, well, I'm talking women's sports and guys sports, we're first class in everything but football. Basketball's first class, baseball's first class, women's softball's first class, track, women's and men's. Like, you go down the list, women's soccer, first class. I mean, you go down the list. So what he's doing is he's built a machine, or he's helped, not crash the machine with everybody else. But there's nothing for the football program. It's like, we're good at everything except for football.
And I've heard some people, Matt, say that they think Hunter's building a resume so he can go get another job with the Learfield
Arkansas does
Cup
seem like a stepping step job at AD. I don't think people just want to be the Arkansas AD.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think you're going to be hired as an athletic director for a job that would be viewed as a better job if you didn't get football right where you previously were.
Because that's the moneymaker, right?
That's what it's all about, is about football. So I don't think I see it that way, because I think if you're going to make your resume, you're going to make your resume bones based on football.
It'd be football and women's basketball. Thank you. That we're not first class in that because we don't spend any money, but those would be our 2 worst sports. But everything else, if you look at it across the board, Arkansas is really good in all the other sports.
Fred, thank you for the phone call. Charlie's up next on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. It's 877-377-6963. Tuna, how are you?
What's up, guys?
Oh, boy, you don't sound good.
So I knew you would pick up on it pretty quick.
I mean, I can pick up on a lot of your little voice mannerisms, Charlie.
It's just, my tone tells it all. I'm like you guys, and I'm like a lot of fans right now, throwing my hands up going, I don't know what the answer is, because I know you've seen the record field from 2012 until now, and then you look at 98 to 2011. And look, I don't like doing that all the time, but it does become a point where you talked about this earlier. I heard the beginning of the show where there is an issue, and it's not just one thing. Everybody wants to point at one or two things. I mean, you could point your finger all over the place at this point if you wanted to. with this football program. You really could. I mean, if you go back to 2012 and you look at that record and the SEC record, I mean, there's something wrong, and I don't know what it is.
Well, and the wild thing, too, is, folks might point to, Sam didn't have any head coaching experience before he got the job. Well, Brett Bielema did in a tough league where he was a fairly successful coach. And, it didn't work out to the level that it was hoped for right now. You'd probably take that, though.
And I would think that, and if you look at Coach Bielema, and we all have our own opinions on certain coaches. You know what Coach Bielema does, though? What he did do was beat the teams he was supposed to beat. You get him in a big game. You saw Illinois play, and he didn't have a chance. It's like you get him in a big game. He doesn't win those. He's not really that type of coach. But he doesn't lose those games you're supposed to win. And that's one thing Coach Pittman does every year. It's like there's games you're like, oh, let me wipe this throw up off my chin.
I think has been really disappointing for me too, guys, is this linebacker core, particularly the starting two guys. When I think about last year, those two guys in particular and a few others, I felt like were kind of the strength of our defense. I don't know if they're hurt or what, but I don't understand. It goes back to some of Matt's points. So we're just does that really give us the best chance to win right now? We're just going to keep playing two guys that right now, by the way, what Cam Ball meant by the other day is tackling 101. When you get to someone, and Matt, you know this, when you get close to someone, you get in position, you got to break down and make that tackle. You can't just keep they constantly just
That's
overrunning.
That's what I see from Sorey sometimes.
It's awful.
He it's over pursuit from him, at least. I like Bradley Shaw. I think Shaw actually played a halfway decent game. He might have missed a couple of tackles, but I think he made more of them, forced a fumble, created a sack, and another tackle for a loss. I like Shaw. And I think for Sorey, man, I mean, to me, I don't know, Sam's talking about he might have hamstring thing, something up, but he seems to get where he needs to be, but just doesn't make the tackle.
Yeah, he hadn't been able to finish the play. Dix is really behind. Like, Sorey's actually getting there and I think getting in position, and then he just misses. But Dix has looked late on a lot of things. I don't know what it is with him. Well, and look, at the end of the day, if you're going to say somebody's hurt, well, okay, I'd rather play a young guy, and you know what, he makes some mistakes. Matt, I know some of the effort with the defense too. I don't. To me, I don't know what it is. I don't know if maybe they're just losing hope in this staff and what they're calling when you're getting thrashed like that, whether it be giving up 280 yards rushing to Memphis. I mean, it's sad. I don't know what to do, guys. I'm at a loss for words. If you want to throw Bobby Petrino in there, I mean, this offense, what have they scored in the last two halves of these last two games, Matt? Like 10 points?
Charlie,
I mean, they got
Charlie in the last two games in the second half, they've gained 45 rushing yards on 18 carries. They've tried to run it, haven't run it with any success, and is it the wrong running back in there? Is it the wrong play, or is this sort of just expected by the opponent? You want to keep your defense off the field because it's not a really good defense. How do you do that? You run the ball, don't you, Matt? Don't you do that? Do you run the ball in the second half with success, and that's not happening?
Yeah, first downs, do that, and that's what I mean about that first half. What Memphis was doing was they kept their offense out there. We got worn down, and that sun comes out there, and that the fourth quarter, it reminded me so much of the BYU game 3 years ago, where we're at home, and you just there was nothing left. They're trying, but because of poor substitution patterns, because of a poor camp. You can go down and list the things. There's no reason that in your fourth game of the season you should be running. You shouldn't have gas. Like you're in shape now. You're in game shape. That's because you didn't have a strong enough camp. You're not physical enough on defense. Your mentality has to change. It's not there. There's talent there. It's that 6 inches in between the ears that's not there. They don't want it. There's not a physicality with this defense, and then. It shows on offense as well. You want to be cute. You want to do some things. Hey, we got mesh routes. We got wheel routes. Can't you just line up and run the ball down Memphis's face? Shouldn't you think that?
You would want to, and you think there should be a symbiotic relationship between an offense and a defense on a football team. And that's why when you're talking, Matt, about you win as a team, you lose as a team. An offense that struggles can be helped by their defense by getting a short field all the time. A defense that struggles can be helped by the offense by being allowed to stay off the field and run the ball with success.
When's the last time we've had 0 turnovers in a game? Like a big game when we needed to. Again, don't turn the ball over. If you play a clean game right there, you can win the game. The ball's the most precious thing out there. That's just the truth.
JW is in London, and he's on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Hi, J-Dub. How are you?
I'm good. I'm listening to all this Monday morning hand-wringing and all that. I think you've hit on a lot of what I wanted to talk about. In deference to heart, I think a lot of these players have heart. I think I'm a fan of Juracek. I'm a fan of Petrino. I'm a fan of Pittman. I'm not so sure about the defensive coordinator. But here's the problem. If you are going to run the ball consistently, we are not Alabama and LSU who have a second string that's as good as their first string. We don't have the luxury of doing that so we can wear some people out by the end of the game. Same way defensively. Now, I think we should have run the ball a little bit more. But, and again, you all hit on it, the other team adjusted to our offense. I think Petrino's biggest problem is his arrogance. He wants to win the way he wants to win, and I think he's going to have to, back off just a little bit from that and maybe change his style a little bit. But and here's the thing, except for a couple plays, the outcome of the last 2 games is entirely different, and everybody thinks we're going to win a national championship. My thing is, if we beat Notre Dame, and I hope by more than 6 points, but if we beat Notre Dame, these losses will be forgotten real quickly. The fans are pretty fickle.
No, they won't.
But anyway, that's all I got. I love listening to y'all because you have a pretty good analysis of what's going on out there. And I'm like about half of Razorback Nation. My hands are kind of up in the air. I've got to have faith in the people we have up there and are paying all that money to get done what needs to get done. And thank y'all.
All right, thanks a lot, JW. I appreciate the idea of a win over Notre Dame would be just a great thing. They're ranked, and first time I've ever played them, and there's just only so many programs that come in with that kind of cachet. Nothing erases a loss to Memphis. Nothing does. It's a loss to Memphis. It happened, and nothing will change that. It's the same as the loss to Liberty. I mean, those are losses that hurt differently than losing to an SEC team because they don't have the same amount of resources. Heck, you see the stadium, their fan base barely even showed up for the game. They said they sold out. There were a lot of open seats. It doesn't get erased. It never gets erased. You want to erase the loss to Memphis, win every game the rest of the season, make the playoff, and then we can talk. 877-377-6963, the Lewis Automotive Hotline. We have 3 up, 3 down coming up in a moment with Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center, and we'll do that right after this.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Ryan McGee, ESPN.com senior writer. Marty and McGee. Squeeze play or red zone?
Squeeze play. Squeeze play is like a drug for me. Like I've never done drugs, but I kind of get it because when they go to that quad box, I was texting Mike Rooney and Chris Button and Chris Burke and Matt Schick going, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Weekdays from 9 to 11.
Only on ESPN 95.3.
And hitthatline.com. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie.
Nice spec.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Check out my new frame. All these cool shades make you.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Oh, look, we got a little sun outside my window here. That's nice. I feel like we really needed it. When I woke up this morning, Matt Jones, and the first thing I heard was thunder, and then I look outside the window. There's no light. It's just a drizzle. I thought, this is pretty perfect for, I think, the way everybody's feeling today. Is it nice outside? You get some sun outside the window yet, or is it still raining on your parade?
It's still, well, Phil, my life's so good, it's only going to get worse. I'm a big fan of life, so life is good. It's a little cloudy, a touch of the gray. I don't know if Widespread Panic gets down with Grateful Dead, but they got a song called Touch of Gray. Maybe it's a little gray outside.
I think that might have been the only song that the Grateful Dead ever released that ever made the top 40. That's a guess. And we do have, speaking of, man, it's like you know exactly what's going on here. We got Dr. Charlie Ligon on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, so it is time for 3 Up, 3 Down.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 Up and 3 Down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
Charles, how are you doing today?
Good as you could expect after a tough sports weekend.
He's Charles after a loss. He's legs after a victory. I see how it goes.
That's exactly how it works. He must have had to been Charles last week. Your football teams have lost their last 4 games, Charles. I mean,
Oh,
we're going
my
to do
gosh.
something about this.
It's been rough.
Well, I'll start with my first up and then my first down, and I'm going to go to the team that I root for that did win over the weekend. How about those Pittsburgh Steelers over the New England Patriots? 5 turnovers, and they win by 7 points. 5 turnovers, 4 fumbles, 1 sack, 1 interception, 5 sacks, and win 21-14 in New England. Now, I'm happy anytime the Steelers beat New England because, well, for fairly obvious reasons. They've beaten us in the AFC Championship game way, way too many times. But the defense needed a game like that. And Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdowns, just 139 yards. I don't even think they gained more than 200 yards and still win at 21-14. That is a very Steelers-like win. I'll take a few more of those. I like good defense. All right, my first down is to Arkansas's inability to run the ball in the second half in the last 2 weeks. So, you look back in the Ole Miss game, 9 carries, 35 yards in the second half. They had 5 plays that were less than 3 yards. So quite often when you try to run on first down, this is first down running, you're facing 2nd and 7, anywhere from 2nd and 7 to about 2nd and 9. That's in the Ole Miss game when you were trying to come from behind. In the Memphis game, when you're protecting an 11-point halftime lead, 9 carries for 10 whole yards. 5 of those carries for 0 or negative yardage. So in that game, and because you watched it, you faced 2nd and 13, 2nd and 14, 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11. And that's not the way that you hold on to a lead.
But it sure felt different on that last drive, though. It felt like they were moving the ball.
The
and they had
last
everything
drive, when they're finally coming from behind again, did run it. I just wonder about no Braylon Russell, and I'll get to that a little bit more here in 3 Up, 3 Down. Matt, go ahead.
All right, my first up, I guess we'll do the downs last, but I'm going to stay with Pittsburgh. I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Panthers, the college team. I think one of the best ever defensive tackles of my generation. I mean, there's a handful of guys. Haloti Ngata is somebody I think of as well, and Ndamukong Suh, but Aaron Donald from Pittsburgh Panthers is going to be the 11th Pittsburgh Panther to have his jersey retired. And, man, do they have some good ones. Larry Fitzgerald, Dan Marino, Tony Dorsett, just to name a few. So good, and Mike Ditka, but good for him. I'm always an Aaron Donald fan. First down, I won't harp on it too much, but it's just Arkansas Razorback football. It's the ultimate team game. It is not one player's fault. It's not one coach's fault. It's a lot larger than that. It's the ultimate team game. It starts at the top, starts with your leaders, and it goes from there. I'm speechless. I'm without speech.
Charles, you do have speech, though, so go ahead.
I've got some speech. My first up was the 3 5-star recruits we had in over the weekend for the 2026 class. Tate Kennedy, the 6'4" guard, and Arafon Gion, the big guy, 7 foot, 260 center, and then Jordan Smith Jr., the combo guard. So if we could lock up a couple of those guys, they're being obviously heavily recruited elsewhere, but it'd be nice to add to our 2026 class. And I think we've got some other big ones coming in this week as well. So Cal can do his thing. My first down. Okay, so this is a question for you guys, and you may know more about it than I do, but you hear oftentimes people will say that we can't keep Arkansas recruits. We can't keep the top players in Arkansas at the university. Do we have any stats of the top Arkansas players that have gone elsewhere? I just started thinking about this weekend. I was like, well, we're missing out on these guys, but are they doing well? Are they getting drafted? Are they doing well in college? And I've never seen anything about how those players have done. Do you guys know anything about that?
I remember you had Alti Tenpenny went to Alabama. Ohio State had a receiver go up there and was all Big Ten, if you remember that from Little Rock. There's guys that go places, but you kind of they're lost in the fold because we're Razorback fans. You know,
Yeah.
we watch the Hogs play, but there's a couple guys that go out there and do their thing. That's for sure.
It'll take a little bit of research, but we can find some of that stuff. I mean, we do know about Drake Lindsay in Minnesota. But also thinking of like some of the kids that were freshmen this year and how many of them are going to get really, break through and play much this season. So it'll take a little bit of research, but you know what I like to do, Charles? I like to do some sports research.
Ohio State had a receiver that was dominant for a little slot receiver. I know he was an Arkansas kid.
Well, I got a second second up, sorry. The second up goes to Braylon Russell. Braylon Russell, in his career, has touched the football 103 times between carries and receptions. Only has 7 receptions, so that would be 96 carries. You know what Braylon Russell hasn't done yet in his career? Fumble the football.
Carry the ball in the fourth quarter.
Hasn't fumbled it once. Not once. Not a fumble that was recovered by him. Not one fumble that was recovered by any of his teammates. Not one fumble that was recovered by the officials or somebody that ran on the football field and picked it up, or by the opponent. And I think that might mean something for a program that has fumbled the ball over 100 times in the last 6 years. I think Braylon Russell deserves to carry the ball more than he's carrying it, and the 0 fumbles, that's not the only reason why, because, I don't know, he's really running well. So I'd like to see Braylon Russell get a lot more carries. Looks like he's got some stickum on his hands. Second down, stop it with the comparisons of the Cowboys and the Razorbacks. The Cowboys are not the Razorbacks of the NFL. Have you ever heard Jerry Jones or anybody connected to the Cowboys complain about money? Bad decisions are bad decisions, but the Cowboys cannot point to revenue or anything about player salaries for why they don't succeed. It is the single most valuable franchise in the world. Arkansas football and Arkansas Razorback athletics are not that. And I think we just have to stop comparing the NFL to the NCAA. There isn't a single college team out there, not one, that would beat the worst NFL team this year. Matt, you've played both sides. Am I right or am I wrong?
It can't happen.
Yes, stop it. Yeah. NFL is not NCAA football. They're not even the same sport. Go ahead.
You know, I've given 1,000 different women 1,000 different foot massages, and they all meant something. My second up goes to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Does he get the 60? He just hit his 58th home run, so I'm pulling for him. I mean, when you got the nickname the Big Dumper, I'm already pulling for you. So good for him. And then all my downs are football downs. This it's not a Colorado getting a 5th down, but it's first, second, and third will be football. Oklahoma State. So you think it's bad in Arkansas? Oklahoma State just lost 19-12 to Tulsa.
I think it's over.
I think it's over for a couple coaches. Yeah.
Well, it may be over in a couple places where orange is the dominant color. Charles, you can go ahead.
Okay, so for my my next up, this is a pretty cool stat that I came across this weekend. The Indianapolis Colts have only punted once in all 3 games.
Wow.
It's the first time that's happened since 1940. So 1 punt. It's crazy, huh?
And that's Daniel Jones, yeah.
I thought they were tanking for Arch.
The Colts?
Funny stuff.
I guess it could be.
That's good
Man,
stuff.
I think they'll be able to win plenty of games and still draft Arch.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, not this next year though. He may need a little more time in the oven.
Yeah, I think so. And my next down was Stacey Lewis announced her retirement from the LPGA effective at the end of the season. She's easily the best female hog golfer ever, a former number 1. I thought it was pretty cool. She closed her written announcement that I saw on Twitter with saying that she was retiring, but she closed that announcement up with "Go Hogs," and what an ambassador for the university and for Northwest Arkansas.
Very good. That is very well said. All right, I got my third up, and it's this.
1.
The 400th home run hit by Mike Trout, if I can just fanboy for a moment. He's my favorite player that I ever had with the Travelers. He was our center fielder in 2011, and he was 19 when he played there that year. And now he's age 33. That's the 400th home run, which makes him the second active player with 400 or more. Giancarlo Stanton is the other, and I think he's close to 450. The thing was with Trout, it took him 6 years to hit his last 100 home runs because of all the knee injuries. He's just not the same player. For somebody with a career batting average of 294, he's hit 220 and 229 the last 2 years. And the knee injury is the main reason why. And at age 33, I don't know how much Trout has left because he is not the same player. And it's kind of painful to watch because for a moment there, I thought he may go down as one of the 5 best hitters in baseball history, but knee injuries have something to do with the idea that maybe he won't be. All right, I got a third down, and it's for the Little Rock Touchdown Club today because Tim Brown is speaking, and he won't say even anything remotely worth repeating. And that's hey, we've gotten some good stuff from the Little Rock Touchdown Club already this year, from Jimmy Johnson and from Hunter this past week, but I don't think Tim Brown's going to really say much that's worth repeating, and I wish that was different. Matt, go ahead.
All right, my third up goes to a couple of baseball players as well. This date in history, September 22nd, 1911, and this is how the stats said. It said Cy Young records his final victories over Pitt. Didn't even say what team he was playing on, so I love it. 1-0, and that was his 511th victory. Also, one of my favorite, the Say Hey Kid, 1969. Willie Mays becomes the second player in Major League Baseball history to hit his 600th home run. You don't think Trout will get to 6? Would you think Trout will get to 5? Maybe.
If it takes him 6 years, no.
Okay.
Because then it'll be 39, so I don't think he'll make it there.
And then there might be a coach in the carousel. Your boy, Dabo Sweeney, Clemson, to the Qs, 21-34. He said, look, guys, he's just learning how to be a head coach. He's going to go anywhere he wants to and win. He's just not going to win in Clemson anytime soon. You know who Clemson has next week? Your boy. The gold digger people that are she's trying to get it.
UNC.
Yeah.
She'll be on the sideline, I think, during the game, too.
Now, wouldn't that be something? There's no way that could be a 0-0 tie, right?
I think I didn't watch. I haven't watched North Carolina, but I think they've looked as bad as any FBS
2-2.
teams.
They ain't beat anybody. They beat like Richmond and like Chattanooga or something.
They're getting blown out.
Yeah.
It's ugly. Yeah. So you want to forget what happened to Belichick in his 1 year as a college coach because this is going to be 1 year. All right, Charlie, go ahead. Charles.
Okay, my last up. I'm still excited about this weekend. I think it's going to be a fun atmosphere, even though it's not kind of what we were hoping for.
Are you sure about that? Did you hear his voice there, Matt? He's trying to convince us he's excited,
I'm
going to
be there too. I'm going to be there too. I'm hoping so too.
Hey, we're going to have a good time. We got a good crew, and we're going to go to the baseball game and check out the team a little bit before. So we're gonna make the best of it for sure. But it'll be. I mean, this is the only time we're probably ever going to see Notre Dame in Fayetteville. You gotta enjoy that, right?
Absolutely.
And,
yeah. I mean, it's when that helmet shows up in your stadium, it's different. It just is.
Yeah, and hopefully we can get some things worked out and turn that defense around. And so my biggest down was my favorite player on defense is Xavier Story. I mean, he's usually all over the field and just making plays. And man, he just wasn't himself. I don't know if he's hurt. Did they say anything about him being hurt?
No, nothing confirmed. Sam said he must be hurt. I think he said it must be something with his hamstring, but I know I'm assuming Sam's press conference is finished by now because it would have started 35 minutes ago. I'll check in on that because I would assume somebody's asking him about it because that's supposed to be your best defender.
He just didn't look like himself at all. I mean, he didn't wrap up. He wasn't in position a lot of times. It was hard to see. But that's all I got.
All right. That's 3 up, 3 down, as always, brought to you by River Valley Smile Center. So if you hide your smile, if you have chipped, stained, or uneven teeth, Doc, or if maybe your smile doesn't match the way that you feel, I know River Valley Smile Center has all kinds of cosmetic dentistry to treat this, and folks would love to hear about that.
Yeah, we do. We offer everything from veneers, if you just need a few teeth changed, to full mouth rehabilitation. And Dr. Johnson and Dr. Cave and I have had extensive training and all that. We even offer Botox after you get done if you want to fix some things that way. So a lot of artistic skill and expert care here just to get you the beautiful, natural-looking results you're looking for. So come see us, talk to us about what you're looking for, and we'll see what we can do to make you feel and look better.
You can call River Valley Smile Center at 479-646-0706. RiverValleySmiles.com is their website if you want to schedule a consultation. And Doc, go ahead, you can take us home.
Hey, come see us at River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family. Go Hogs.
All right. Well, next week, Charlie, we'll go just with Dr. Liggett. We'll see if we go with Liggs or Charles for the remainder of the season. Maybe if the team's 500, sub 500, above 500 is the way that we'll figure that out. Always appreciate hearing from Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center. Opening up the Lewis Automotive Hotline for you now at 877-377-6963, and halftime returns right after this.
You're on my good side. But don't confuse kindness with weakness.
This is halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What if a quarterback completed 4 out of his 5 passes, or a point guard hit 4 out of 5 shots from behind the arc? Well, now when you're hiring, you can play at that level, because 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter's technology hustles to find skilled people for your job, and you can invite your top picks to apply. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
This is halftime.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing, that hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission is to improve the quality of life in our communities. Across the River Valley of Arkansas and Oklahoma, residents and businesses are experiencing the difference of our high-speed internet. Wave Rural Connect Internet provides a reliable residential connection for streaming, gaming, remote work, and homeschooling. Our business solutions provide the speed, stability, and security that you need, whether you're a mom-and-pop flower shop or large business. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372.
Fall is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your mower with a Hustler from WT Equipment. Hustler mowers are built tough, cut cleaner, and make yard work faster and easier. Right now, WT Equipment has great deals on Hustler Zero Turn, so you can get professional results without the hassle. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment location today and see why Hustler is the mower of choice for homeowners and pros alike. Go by and see them at WT Equipment or find them online at WTEquip.com.
Celebrate autumn in the natural state with Crabtree RV Center in Elma. From October 26th to the 29th, Crabtree RV will be having their big fall sale complete with great door prices. Bring the little ones on Saturday, October 28th for our community trunk or treat. There will be candy, games, bouncy houses, and more. Whether it's our big fall sale or trunk or treating, you'll not want to miss these October events at Crabtree RV Center in Elma.
Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Not a member? Just sign up at Metters Lumber Ace Hardware to start saving right at the register. Right now, save $60 on an Ego 56-volt, 16-inch chainsaw kit after instant savings with your Ace Rewards card. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings, available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Just to know your name. 17 tracks and just to know your name. Toss in a place like this. Anything goes, but don't break you. Close in a place like this. I said, close in a place like this.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Pretty wild news is coming across here. Jeff Borzello, Matt Norlander, John Rothstein, all reporting that Bruce Pearl is going to retire from Auburn and retire as a basketball coach. And Auburn will put Stephen Pearl in as his replacement, his son. I think a lot of folks, Matt, have expected that Pearl may be getting into politics. I think Tommy Tuberville is running for governor and leaving his Senate seat. I bet you Pearl's about to run for Senate.
Man, tie up the boats. What's that Redneck Yacht Club? Doesn't he look like that's what he is, the founding member of? Like Bruce Pearl, you just want him out there with his shirt off, belly glistening in the sun, maybe using butter instead of like suntan oil. Oh, Bruce Pearl, let's get it.
It's a guy who was born in Boston, Massachusetts, was educated at Boston College, and I think it's an easy thing to look at.
One of the best bellies in sports. Like, if you just think coaches with bellies, Bruce Pearl's got one of the best bellies in sports.
And some of the better sweat stains, right?
Oh.
Let's go to the Lewis Automotive Hotline and try to digest some of that news. Rob in Mountain Home is here. Hey, Rob, how are you?
I'm doing okay. Just disappointed like everybody else here today. Watched the whole game except for 5 minutes of it, the beginning of the second half. And I just got one question, and I'm just tuning into your show today. I had some other things to do, but I have a question, I guess, for both of you. And this is, in my opinion, I don't see the desire when we get people down, and I have to be nice on the radio, to go for the frickin' throat. And that is really disappointing to me.
Well, I mean, what do you mean by go for the throat? What is it that you expect to see that you didn't see against Memphis?
I mean, when you get up on somebody that you are better than, I didn't see the desire to put them away. And that's disappointing. What is your opinion on it?
I don't know if I put it on desire specifically. I think they were gassed in the second half.
A little bit out of shape, yeah.
I think sometimes you can things look like it's a lack of effort or a lack of desire, but what it may end up being is tired legs, confusion, not knowing where you're supposed to be. And even Sam said post-game, we thought we'd fix some things defensively, and maybe we didn't. So I really am not big on questioning athletes' effort. unless it's completely obvious. And I don't know if it's fully obvious. Like even with Sori, Sori makes this attempt to, shoulder tackle on the quarterback when he runs into the end zone. You think, well, if you wrap him up, maybe you get him. Same with Miguel Mitchell. Maybe there is an injury with Sori, and he's not able to tackle properly. But if that's what's going on, you got to have somebody else in there. So I don't know if I put it all on effort or on, a lack of desire. I just put it on a lack of execution. And I think in the second half, Memphis won the game on the sidelines. And they won it on the field. Don't get me wrong, but I think Silverfield and his assistants came up with a plan and a change in the second half that the Hogs just didn't look ready for. I appreciate your phone call, Rob. Thank you very much. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Hotline. Well, you always get a pleasant and productive banking experience at Sterling Bank. It's your community bank in Northwest Arkansas. Top-notch customer service. Every single transaction feels personal because the folks at Sterling Bank aren't just your bankers, they're your friends and they're your neighbors. They're deeply committed to the people, businesses, and organizations that make Northwest Arkansas thrive, always showing passion for growth and progress. It'll fuel everything they do. Looking for local, friendly banking to fit your needs? Sterling Bank is in Fayetteville, Rogers, or Bentonville, and at stirbank.bank. Sterling Bank, invested in you, committed to Northwest Arkansas. Back in a moment to wrap up hour number 2. This is Halftime.
I knew that was coming. I mean, I don't know what I do with it. Tell me what to do. I mean, I don't know what to do.
This is Halftime.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. How about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD. Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
At Arvest Bank, we believe small businesses are the backbone of communities. Whether you're just getting your business off the ground, planning for future growth, or managing the day-to-day, we want you to thrive. That's why we help businesses of all kinds find their strength. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank, we believe.
Don't miss the big porch sale at Gelco Outdoors. Casual clothing, work clothing, and hunting clothing for men, women, and children. Clothing is priced at 50% off the lowest price, which means savings of 75% or more off the original price. Brands like Ariat, Browning, Wrangler, Drake, Non-Typical, and more. Save up to 75% off at Gelco Outdoors Porch Sale, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
A piece of sky every night, love it all, and further from right, spinning around, we have knows, so there, whatever I do.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Let's think of some of the schools where the head coach's job is in jeopardy. Clemson, Florida, Oklahoma State. You already know UCLA and Virginia Tech are looking for coaches. Virginia Tech is adding $47 million into their athletic department. $47 million, and then adding another $61 million for the 3 years after that. I don't know what the buyout is for Brent Pry, but it seems to me that they're going all in on hiring some football coach. Otherwise, why are you adding $47 million? It's not all going to the athletes, is my guess. And then I think, obviously, there can be a change at Arkansas if things don't change and go in a different direction than right now. I think we're all aware of that. I think they're aware of that in the offices. I think they're aware of that on campus. So I didn't think that, if you get to 6 wins last year, I was pretty sure that Sam would stay because that would have shown some progress from 4-8, and you get to 7-6 last year. But in order, the idea of look, the schedule we've got and everything, you got to at least finish exactly the same, at the very least. And even if that happens, you're not really showing progress. So, and I understand the idea of if Sam finishes under 500, I think the buyout language, Matt, is it starts from the 2022 season. If his record is under 500, the buyout is quite less. So, I mean, if you end up under 500 this year, I think Arkansas would owe him about $3 million less. It would be $6 million instead of a little over $9 million. So this is different than any buyout. And the record after the 2021 season is the thing that you're going by.
Well, some of these coaches that are on the hot seat, my question would be, do they ever coach again? Do they go back to being, an offensive line coach? Are they a head coach somewhere? Like, is this it for guys like Pittman and Gundy and the guy down there at Florida? Does the UCLA coach again? I don't know.
The thing is, I mean, Dabo said as much. He's going to keep coaching. Billy Napier's 46. I doubt he'd get a head coaching job.
Be a coordinator somewhere.
Coordinator job would be somewhere down there. For Mike Gundy and Dabo Swint, those are not guys that are going to be a coordinator somewhere else.
Yeah, they've been a head coach too long, huh?
For so long. I mean, Gundy, I'm 40. We all remember that.
That was 12 years ago, right?
He's 58.
20 years ago.
That's right. He's 58 years old now. Now, I think Swinney would keep coaching. I wonder about Gundy. I do wonder about Gundy. But I think Dabo Swinney would try to get on somewhere. It's just at that point, all right, Dabo, that whole transfer portal thing. You remember you said that when the players start getting paid, you're going to stop coaching. Now's your chance. I don't think he's going to do that. It's funny how things work when you make threats and then the threat actually doesn't get followed through on because you knew you weren't going to do that anyway. It's just words. I don't know what Dabo's buyout is, but Graham asked about it too, and that's the truth. It's like if you want Dabo to be your coach here, you're paying some hefty buyout to Clemson. So we go into hour number 3. We'll be talking with Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South at 1:15. So we'll be wide open when we come back after the break, and the Lewis Automotive Hotline is open. 877-377-6963. Phone calls and texts coming up next on Halftime.
If you or a loved one experienced emotional distress due to slow internet 25 years ago, Taco Bell believes you're entitled to a delicious escape. The Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos, 7-layer burrito, caramel apple empanada, and more. All $3 or less. Claim 5 returning faves and relive what you love from the 2000s. If you already suffered dial-up, don't wait any longer. Experience Taco Bell's Decades Y2K menu now. At participating stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price of participation varies. Tax extra.
Hey, this is Chad Warner, product manager for Booyah Bait Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The hottest swim jig on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob, a bunch of river rats from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's winning tournaments on Dardanelle and Kerr like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged vegetation, water willow, lily pads, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma. The Booyah Mobster.
Looking for a roofing company you can trust? Meet 3 Ladies in a Roof. We're locally owned, certified, insured, and bonded roofing company. 3 Ladies in a Roof can handle everything from start to finish with honesty, quality, and integrity. A hard-working company that knows roofing. Go with the crew that gets it done right. 3 Ladies in a Roof stands behind their roof so you can stand under it. Call 501-658-3193. 3 Ladies in a Roof, helping you with all your roofing needs. Ready to serve the River Valley.
Game days just got a whole lot cheesier at Art's Barbecue and Burgers on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Art's legendary smoked brisket queso is back. There's no better game time treat than this house-made queso, loaded with chunks of Art's smoked brisket. And try the sloppy pig, Art's hand-pattied burger, topped with pulled pork and smothered in smoked brisket queso. Make your game days cheesy at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, Rogers Avenue, 2 doors east of Lowe's in Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see a chance of showers and storms. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be in the low to mid 80s. Tonight, chance of showers and storms. And overnight low will drop down in the mid to upper 60s. Tuesday, showers, occasional thunderstorms are high on Tuesday near 75. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Tommy's right on this one. Do you feel? Let me ask you this.
Normal around here.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Well, actually, if I'm all right, why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
101 in the afternoon, just solving all the problems in the world. Well, at least our problems between 11 and 2 on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Halftime continues. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing. Got them lined up, so let's get right to the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Got a few guys waiting on it. Chris in Fort Smith is first up. Hey, Chris, appreciate you holding through that break. How you doing?
Hey, guys. I can't really hear you on my end. Hope you guys are enjoying your Monday. I know it's kind of a sombering Monday, but I kind of expected all the negativity today, but I saw a lot of positive things on Saturday. Taylor Green threw some absolute dimes, and the defense played okay. They didn't play as bad as I thought they would, but I feel like the last two games, Ole Miss and Memphis are really good programs. And you're talking about one fumble in each game away from being 4-0. I feel like there's just a lot of more positive things we can take away from the Arkansas football team right now.
All right, very good, Chris. I'm going to go to the next phone call.
He did drop that dime that Omega Blake had in his hands and kind of relaxed for a half a second. You know, as you catch it, complete the process of the catch. He kind of caught it, knew he had it, didn't really kind of. So yeah, there was one, but I don't know that. I don't know that there's a lot of. Honestly, I don't know that there is a lot of. I mean,
I don't think we watched the same.
There
game.
you go. There you go.
I really don't.
There you go.
I really don't. I mean, I like the tight ends. I like Rohan Jones. I don't think we use the tight ends enough. I think I'd use them a lot more. I know Taylor did throw some dimes, but he also threw some dimes
right to him,
right to the defenders. So yeah, This is not all about trying to throw sunshine on a loss to a good team, because you know who else are good teams? Notre Dame, Tennessee, Texas A&M, LSU, Texas, Missouri, Mississippi State may be good. They're 4-0 for the first time in over 10 years. So you're going to be facing more good teams.
Feel every single team that we play for the rest of the year would be favored over Memphis.
There isn't a positive to take from that game that makes you think you're about to win games that matter. Sorry, we didn't watch the same game. Lanny in Fayetteville is next. Hi, Lanny. Did we watch the same game?
I'm kind of building on what you guys are saying. I've heard obviously everyone down on Sam, rightly so. He's the head coach. The buck stops there, right? But all the calls and jockeying by Bobby, to where's the accountability for Bobby? And I'm sorry if you guys have already talked about this, but obviously the turnovers and the fumbles have been on the offensive side of the ball. We've all seen the defense, but where's the accountability for Bobby, particularly as we're likely looking at a potential interim head coach here coming up in the next few weeks?
That's exactly right, Lanny, and that's why they were like, we need Bobby to run the team. Why? You scored 10 points in the last two second halves. And look, when Bobby Petrino hasn't been a head coach since Missouri State. He's supposed to pick it up. He hasn't been an FBS head coach since Louisville, and that did not finish very well. I can appreciate the idea that maybe if there is a change at the top and Sam's let go, Petrino, I think, could be, and probably at that point should be, the interim coach. Should he be the head coach moving forward? Absolutely not. Thank you, Lanny. Matt, what do you think?
If this team all of a sudden won 5 of their last 8 games, I could see him being the permanent head coach. But I don't think I think it's a complete overhaul. Honestly, I don't think 10 points in the last 4 quarters. That's we talk about this and I've been trying to be easy. And I say not be easy, but trying to have perspective, trying to understand you win and lose as a team. It's the best team sport out there. The offense has scored 10 points in the last 4 quarters of second half football the last 2 games. Not good enough. Not even. That's not the defense's fault. You're losing 1 possession games. The offense has only scored 10 points in the second half in 2 games.
Football is the ultimate sport where one side can help the other so that you can paper over some of your deficiencies. time of possession turns into a really big
So you know
aspect
what
here.
you do as an offensive coordinator, Phil? When I know my defense is struggling and it's hot, we run the ball more, time possession, make sure that we're keeping our defense fresh, making sure we're keeping them off the field, rotating some running backs in the game, doing a little more quick game, getting some more boot action. Like, there's a couple things you can do. Running that clock instead of being like, hey, look at me, look at what I'm doing. Look, I called that play. It's like, whoa. You got to understand what you have on the other side of the ball as well. And I don't think Petrino does that. I think he just looks at it like, I'm in charge of this offense. Defense better catch up. That's not a recipe for success.
And I don't want to think that you can just go back to 2011. It doesn't work that way. You know, it's like we've some text coming in. Well, we've got to get Houston Nutt as the athletics director because he loves being a Razorback and knows how to fire people up and everything. But it's like, no, it's these ideas. You don't always just go back to what worked previously. First of all, Houston's never been in administration, and that's not his thing. He's also what if he doesn't want to be an athletic director? If Petrino wants to be a head coach, that's fine. Hasn't been one in a long time, and I haven't seen really anything in the 2 years as the offensive coordinator to make me think, well, this is the guy that should be your head coach.
We don't have any nasty in the offensive. As far as you got to be able to run the football, and I mean, there's not you got to be able to impose your will, and we don't really have that. It's just about, hey, I can be cute, and he can. I'm not saying that the dude can't draw up some offensive routes and get some plays open. He absolutely can do that. But it's the little things. It's the little, being able to run the ball, being able to not have more than just one short yardage run play. Oh, we're going to run the same play 3 times in a row. That defense sees that too. They start timing that up. Oh, they're in the same thing. They're going to run the same play again. Got it. You know, you got to be a little bit more advanced in the running game, and we're not.
Take a phone call in a moment just to react to a text from Chris. He thinks 35 and 32 points are enough to win games. They are, but have they won those games, Chris? No. So that means it's not enough to win games. For this team, 35 points and 32 points are not enough for Arkansas to win against Ole Miss and Memphis. The final scores say that. So 35 and 32 are not enough for this team to win games. They needed more. They needed more first downs. They needed to hold on to the ball more. If they did that, 32 points would have been enough.
Too many turnovers on this offense. Too many turnovers.
Here's Robert in Fort Smith. Hi, Robert.
Hey, guys. I'm like you, Phil. Bobby, because he doesn't have a mallet. He doesn't have Brandon Allen. He don't have those cats that we have. If we did, we'd be winning anyway. But I'm just saying, I'm like, no, that was a different time, different era. And it's just, we just don't have, like you were talking about too, Matt, we don't have any dogs on defense. We just don't have the Joes anymore. We don't have them kids. So, you're playing in the big boy conference with no players. Hard, they're good.
But that has nothing to do with playing Memphis.
No, you just got beat by Memphis. Memphis just got one. I mean, they took it. They're not that bad.
Yeah, this isn't a matter of we don't have the resources of anybody else in the SEC. This isn't an SEC game. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything that Hunter talked about on Monday. It's just the embarrassment of that. And, we're not set up to win a national championship, and then you go lose to Memphis because they're not an SEC team. They're not even a Big 12 or an ACC or Big 10 team. So that adds to it. That is the most embarrassing aspect of it. Next up is Jackie and Crossett. Hi, Jackie. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. I think I'm too old for this kind of football. I grew up with watching Dan Hampton and Dennis Dirt Winston and people like that who wouldn't put up with that trotting down the field. When that guy ran that long touchdown, there was a number 3. I don't even know who he is, but he was barely trotting along behind him. If that guy had fumbled the ball or something, and I've seen that happen, nobody would have been there. He didn't even have the desire to run the play out. And I thought with this offense that we were going to see 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3. There's none of that. All these supposedly great running backs and the offensive line to run that ball, and we're not seeing that. I did not see the positives from this game.
You know, I saw in a lot of those first downs, Jackie, it wasn't a matter that the running back did something wrong. There might have been some poor reads by Talon on whether to hold or hand off, but the offensive line left. I mean, there were guys coming right through the middle on some of those first down runs. So I think there were probably a couple of mistakes that were going on at that time.
I'm not excited about the Notre Dame game at all, and that's bad. When you're a Razorback fan and you're playing Notre Dame and you're thinking it's going to be the same old, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, agreed, Jackie. Appreciate your phone call. Cecil's next. He'll take us to the break. Hi, Cecil. How are you?
I'm good. How y'all doing? I mean, hey, I got my Notre Dame tickets and I'm going. And the reason why I'm going because I'm a true Razorback fan. And we need to just start winning. Matt, I agree to everything you said. And we definitely, and this is the thing, we're limping on defense. For one thing, 270 pounds ain't big enough for a defensive lineman. It's just not big enough. And then you got to tackle. Just like Chuck said this morning, you got to get your leverage. You got to get low. I play linebacker. You have to be low, you know, and they was piggyback riding the guy, you know. And this, man, hey, okay, we got a good enough offense to mix plays up. We didn't run the ball enough. We didn't have to throw every time. That tires out the defense on Memphis, and it's taking away the offense of Memphis because they just sitting around on the bench. We could have controlled it because our running backs are good enough to run the ball, get a first down. We going 3 and out on a pass, and they coming right back on the field, running straight down the field. Our defense ain't good enough for that. So to our advantage, we could run the ball more, just like that. We could do that, but we didn't do that. We did the opposite. We got really good running backs and everything. And I know Washington's feeling real bad about the fumble. And the other guy, couple weeks ago, did the same thing. We have to just tighten the screws up. Petrino run more running plays to crush the defense until we get better. It's got to be some changes made, Matt and Phil. It has to be changed. Those guys, number 3, I don't know his name, but the gentleman was right. I watched him. He was lagging around. You got to put dogs out there, man. It's the SEC. They getting paid and all of that. But number 76, he's 6'6" and 276. He cannot tackle. He like grab, but he don't hit and tackle. And he's riding the guy's back. He did that twice, man. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. And then the guy is 388 pounds or whatever he was. He hit his ass low. Excuse my French. Chop his legs down. He ran for almost 10 yards and got a first down. That was ridiculous, man. Just before I said, man, we finna get the first down. All we got to do is take care of the ball. I saw us hit that first down mark and the ball popped out. Oh, my God. I could not believe that happened again.
That play was a microcosm of the game in and of itself. Memphis is like, well, I guess we're going to have to rely on our defense. We'll just run some clock off and just run it up the middle with this quarterback because we had to bring him in since the last quarterback lost his helmet. And yet he drags tacklers for 8 yards. Was absolutely amazing, and I felt like that told the story of the game. That's something Arkansas did not do when they needed to do in the second half.
Hang up. Matt, both of y'all, Phil. Okay, now, Petrino's the offensive coordinator. All right, we know that. Then we got a defensive coordinator. I don't know his name, but we got one. And then we got a head coach, okay? So somebody's got to get blamed, all right? So do everybody get blamed or just one of those get blamed? I'll hang up and listen.
All of them get blamed. All of them. There were mistakes on every side. Offense, we've gotten into that. Defense has been rough. You had I think there were a couple of special teams penalties. One erased a punt that would have been down at the 1 yard line. I mean, it's the whole thing.
Had an illegal procedure penalty coming out of a timeout.
It's the whole thing.
That tells you a little bit about, and we ended up doing good on that drive, but whoa. Like, whoa.
Like, what is going on?
Whoa, it's week 4. That's a week 1 mistake. That's a week 1 mistake. That's not a week 4 mistake.
Jason in Frankfurt's next. Hi, Jason. How are you?
Hey, doing okay. When you started the show, you said we're going to talk basketball, and I was really hoping. But anyway.
I said it's bad. I said it's on the basketball season. My fault. I was just, I think I was a little hurt when we started the show. My bad.
I am too, Matt. But I don't want to beat a dead horse. I'm just going to let that season go. The news with Bruce Pearl is retiring.
That's amazing. That's shocking.
It is. It's shocking. And so that's why I was calling to talk a little Bruce Pearl, especially how it's going to affect this upcoming season. You know, the first 3 games, I think it's Tennessee, Auburn's in there, and Ole Miss. So that made me. I want to do a little sigh of relief. I think that's going to help them out in this season, because the SEC, even with Stephen Pearl being the new head coach, I think it's going to dramatically change how the conference plays out.
Well, and I wonder, you remember, was it how many years ago was it that Wright retired from Villanova? Was it a month before the season? And they haven't been the same program. I mean, not even close to the same program that they were under Jay Wright. I guess I'd be surprised if there isn't some sort of fall by Auburn. I just don't know if it'll be as far as Villanova has suffered under Kyle Neptune.
I don't either. But again, I just was looking to change the subject. You know, I love the Razorback football team. I wish them the best. It's frustrating to see them do this, but I am in a lot of ways like Matt Jones, a little ready to move on to basketball and just kind of soldier through these next 9-10 weeks, whatever it ends up being. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Sounds like you guys are, and I'll go Hogs. Take care, okay?
We're trying our best, Jason. We're definitely trying our best. But today is sort of just like, I don't know, it feels like a day for lying on the couch and being psychoanalyzed.
Unplug the jukebox.
We talk with Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South after this break.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
This is Phil Steele, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
How much more difficult has your job gotten in the last 24, 36 months with portal, with all these things, and just keeping everybody on the right roster?
Ridiculous compared to 5 years ago, especially with the 2 transfer portals. And the one thing I noticed this year, guys, a lot of players that came in the winter portal were leaving at the end of the spring portal, for crying out loud.
Weekdays from 9 to 11, only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18-month same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Rowback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Rowback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Rowback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Rowback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Now, my girl, you're so young and pretty. And one thing I know is true. If you did before your time is due, I know.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
See, when we last talked with Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South, it was after a win over Arkansas State. We were not quite sure what we were going to see from Arkansas this year, but we had seen two nice performances, and the last two games have happened since then. So Connor is here with us right now. Of course, he's the national senior columnist at Saturday Down South. Connor, woof. That's all I got for you.
Yeah, double woof from me. That was, I said afterwards, just diabolical. The type of loss that Sam Pittman could not afford in 2025, to have the lead that it did, an 18-point lead, and feeling like, all right, this is kind of what Arkansas typically does in Memphis. This is the way that you would hope this offense would come out. And for that ending to unfold the way that it did, it was just absolutely brutal on every level. I mean, no FBS team had blown a lead that big this year, and for it to happen for an SEC program against a Group of Five program, which I know Memphis fans aren't going to like hearing that, but that is the reality of the situation. It's the type of loss that's going to sting, and it's going to sting even more knowing the gauntlet that awaits.
Connor, the football is the ultimate team sport. Where would you go from here? You know, your AD comes out last week and says just, football's not ready, and I guess we can call him Hunter Kander. You're a check. Bobby Petrino, 10 points with his offense the last four quarters in the second half. Defense, not physical, not strong. I mean, there's so many things to point to. Is it a complete overhaul? Is Pittman out and you hire Bobby Petrino, although he's not doing much? Where does Arkansas go from here?
I think it's a fresh start. And I think it's a fresh start that's different than the post-Chad Morris era, which, I mean, for those that are saying this is the same thing all over again, let's not forget the humiliation of losing to, I very much respect in Ty Storey, but losing to Ty Storey in that Western Kentucky team the way that Chad Morris did in his final game, it was just way different than what we're talking about right now. There's certainly more respectability to what Arkansas has been able to build in the 6 years under Sam Pittman, but this thing has run its course. It's run its course, and it's time to start fresh. This is a really good market for a lot of these Group of Five coaches, and I know that Ryan Silverfield, the guy on the other sideline at Memphis, is going to be one of those guys that's going to be discussed a lot. I've already brought up the name Alex Golish, G.J. Kinney, who's someone that, like Jeff Traylor, was on that Chad Morris staff, so maybe there's a feeling of you don't want to go back to that well, but I think two guys that have really built up their careers since then. And there's just a really good market for a new head coach, John Summerall being another one of those guys who's done really impressive things so far at Tulane. I just think that it's time to be able to make this move, and maybe it means making Sam Pittman essentially the interim head coach for himself. But it feels like we're heading in that direction after the way that it played out on Saturday.
Were you surprised that Virginia Tech and UCLA made the moves they did with the transfer rule, that you get the 30-day transfer window? Because they made that change 3 games into the season. I know they're thinking, well, you got to save the season, but the way they were playing, I'm not sure there was much to save. I wonder what you thought of the timing of those firings.
I'm still not fully on board with we need to fire a coach in September thought process, because you're telling that entire locker room the season's over, right? So as much as you would like to be able to play the card of interim coach steps in and provides a shot of life, I don't think that's an easy thing to manufacture. I really don't. And I guess you can't have any less interest at UCLA following the way that they started and having a loss like that to New Mexico with Nico Iamaleava just not necessarily exciting the masses in Los Angeles. But yeah, I'm not necessarily a believer that works. I'd kind of rather see more teams trend towards the 2021 LSU model of fire Ed Odron, agree to that buyout, let him be his own interim coach, know that a change is coming. Because what's worse, having this inevitable change just looming over the program, there's a better way to go about it. And I think, and I hope at least, that Arkansas will at least consider that possibility.
Hey, who's had the better start, Georgia Tech or Indiana, to start this college football season?
Phil and I, being unbiased Indiana guys, we will say Indiana. And that's not to disrespect what Brent Key has done at Georgia Tech. And I just love me some Haynes King. I wish that, like Diego Pavia, he could just play in college football forever. But, man, Indiana coming out and just dropping the hammer on Illinois. I know Illinois' got some depth issues right now with injuries that they're dealing with, but that was an unbelievable performance, a statement victory that was kind of unlike anything that they had last year with a team that was currently in the top 10. Yeah, it's different to come out and beat Nebraska the way that Indiana did last year, but to come out and beat a program that a lot of people, myself included, were saying, I think Illinois' got a real legit playoff path. I think that surprised those who have been waiting for this to fall off. And trust me, I'm a jaded Indiana grad. I'm waiting for this to fall off the face of the earth, but Curt Cignetti's different, and this program has certainly turned a new leaf, and it looks like they're not going anywhere.
Would he be a coach that would be on the move? Could you see Arkansas going over somebody like that?
But, what's interesting is I don't know that would make perfect sense for him with the talent acquisition the way that it's worked so far for him in Indiana. And I realize Arkansas has been able to hire a coach from the Big Ten before, and the Brett Bielema thing happened because he didn't have, obviously, what he was looking for with the support for his assistants, and was working through some behind-the-scene things at Wisconsin that he didn't have to work through at Arkansas. I don't know that that's the case with Indiana and Curt Cignetti. They've been willing to kind of roll out the red carpet for him, and that program is very much bought into his vision. So obviously, I'm going to be the first one to say, oh, no, he's going to stay in Indiana for forever. I'm not saying that necessarily that'd be the case. I just don't know that he would look at Arkansas' situation with the hurdles that you would have to overcome in the SEC and say that was more attractive than staying at Indiana.
Why is Virginia Tech throwing so much money into athletics now? What did I see? Another 40-some million, and then next year another 60-some million into the athletics budget that wasn't there before. Is this trying to keep up with the rest of the ACC, or is this, they got to go hire a head coach? Are they about to throw money at somebody big?
I think they feel like they have to. I think they thought they took the cheap way out last time with Brent Pry, a first-time head coach who came from the James Franklin coaching tree, which has not necessarily panned out all that well in that regard. And I think they look at this now and go, well, what's going to be attractive? We've had really one head coach that's worked out, and it's a guy who built this program, and we're trying to find our next guy who doesn't have to be what Frank Beamer was, but has to be someone with a clue, because the ACC is very winnable right now. And at a time in which everybody's talking about dollars and cents and who from the ACC is going to go to this conference and that conference, Virginia Tech doesn't feel like a program that should be that far away. You've got the atmosphere. You've got also a really good recruiting ground as well, but you still need to be able to pour more into it. Miami's a really good example of that right now. Once you make that financial commitment, there's opportunity to be had. And so I don't think that Virginia Tech necessarily has the upside of Miami, but I just think that they've recognized if we don't start spending like a program that's serious, we're going to fade into obscurity, and it kind of feels like they're heading in that direction based on the start that they've had.
I got so many questions I want to ask you. I know we don't have all that much time. What's Arkansas's final record? I don't think they get to 6. I'm trying to find 2 more wins on this schedule. I don't see it. How many? What's when the season's over and we play Missouri, the final game of the year? What's Arkansas's record going to be?
4-8 is the number that I keep coming back to now that the Memphis game played out the way that it did. I would still look at the rest of that schedule and have a hard time finding 3 wins. I would. And who knows? For all I know, Arkansas is going to come out and play with its hair on fire and beat a Notre Dame team that, like, I don't know if you guys have been able to get into this yet, if you've been able to turn the page to Notre Dame. Not your older brother's Notre Dame defense. This is a Notre Dame defense that just let up 30 to Purdue and has been a shell of its former self without Al Golden. So who knows? Like, maybe Taylor Green's going to ball out and Arkansas is finally going to win one of these close games. Water will find its level in that sort of way. But no, I think it's more of a 4-8 team at this point. Just too many issues on the defensive side of the ball. Taylor Green, the turnovers that he was obviously trying to correct coming into this season, some of those bad decisions, you saw that play out against Memphis, and I think this is a team that's going to really struggle to get to bowl eligibility.
And the soap opera that's going in Clemson with Dabo Swinney. Does Dabo Swinney, is he the head coach? And I agree with him. I'm a Dabo Swinney fan, but I agree. I think he'll go somewhere else and win. And then sometimes when you're there for a decade plus, it's just you need a new messenger. It's just part of it. It's just how human nature. Dabo Swinney, the head coach at Clemson next year?
I think he'll find a way to still be it because he still wants the job and they're not firing him. You know, it's as simple as that. It's not about whether or not Dabo meets the expectations of the media when he comes out and says that he believes that his team is going to go 16-0 and then they start 1-3. Dabo doesn't think he should have accountability for that because he won titles 7 years ago, 9 years ago. But for the rest of us, we now look at him as not being one of the elite coaches in the sport. His resume is elite, but when you lose your 4 consecutive games at home to power conference opponents, what does it say about you with a team that's supposed to have all this talent? I think he'll stay at Clemson. He's not probably leaving under his own fruition, but I do think that this is a reminder that he's not what he once was. And Clemson having the season that it has, it's a reminder that it's an adapt or die world, and if you're not willing to adapt to the current times of the sport, you get left behind.
Connor, last thing, this Notre Dame Arkansas game. Bet Saracen is a betting app that works only inside the state of Arkansas. They're a sponsor here. They've got the over-under for Arkansas Notre Dame, 64.5. It is the highest in FBS football for this game. Over or under? I think over.
I think so too. I mean, I really do. Like they just let up 30 to Purdue. Notre Dame struggles defensively with the things that they're working through right now. I watched Mario Craver, the transfer from Mississippi State, now doing really good things for Texas A&M. I watched him break, I think, 3 or 4 tackles on one 86-yard touchdown that are just inexplicable. Arkansas should put up points. Now, are they going to be able to tackle Jeremiah Love to save their lives? I would say probably not when you allow 290 on the ground to Memphis. That's usually not a sign that your run defense is figured out. Points. I would take the over. For all we know, they're going to hit the over by halftime.
Let's leave it there, Connor, and we'll visit again in a couple of weeks, and who knows what's going on by then.
Gentlemen, appreciate it.
Connor O'Gara, national senior columnist from Saturday Down South, with us every other Monday here on Halftime. And I want to remind you about the Booyah Poppin' Pad Crasher Jr. It's still made by Pradco. Frog fishing is the favorite thing to do, and the Poppin' Pad Crasher Jr. is the right size, is the right hook setup. You're going to catch them, and you'll find it at learnet.com. Tackle stores everywhere. The Booyah Poppin' Pad Crasher Jr. We are into the home stretch on a Monday, and the Lewis Automotive Hotline is open right now. 877-377-6963. Back in just a couple minutes.
Don't ever risk your life or your career for an asset. Comes down to you or them, send flowers.
This is Halftime.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Cold plunges, gratitude journals, screen detoxes. How do you know what actually works? With a 4.9-star rating from over 1.7 million client reviews, you're in good hands with BetterHelp. Talk with real qualified therapists, not AI. Wellness shouldn't be overwhelming, and therapists can help figure out what's best for you. And yeah, it might involve a screen detox. Visit BetterHelp, HELP.com/score for 10% off your first month.
You're listening to Halftime live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
McFadden tries to get to the corner. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 99.5 and hitthatline.com.
Don't miss the big porch sale at Jelco Outdoors. Casual clothing, work clothing, and hunting clothing for men, women, and children. Clothing is priced at 50% off the lowest price, which means savings of 75% or more off the original price. Brands like Ariat, Browning, Wrangler, Drake, Non-Typical, and more. Save up to 75% off at Jelco Outdoors Porch Sale, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Family owned and operated since 1950, Crabtree RV Center is proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 amazing years. From a small dealership on Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith to 17 acres located at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, Arkansas, Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, and parts. Come celebrate 75 years with us and take advantage of spectacular savings all year long. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Football, fantasy drafts, new school supplies. It's my favorite time of year. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Born and raised in the River Valley, I know how crazy traffic can get this time of year. As kids head back to class, remember to use caution at crosswalks and in school zones. But not all accidents can be avoided. If you or your loved one is injured in a car wreck, call today. 479-769-1505. No win, no fee. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
It's football season, and that means tailgate parties and gathering with friends. River Point Wine and Spirits has all your favorite party supplies. You'll love our clean, organized store full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Like a sign, can't wait for tonight. Baby, what can I see tonight? I'm shaking from my ears.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend, Matt Jones.
So how much Led Zeppelin did you listen to over the weekend, Matt Jones? I listened to all of Led Zeppelin 1.
Nice.
All of Led Zeppelin 2. And then I got into, I think it was the second or third song of Led Zeppelin 3. The last song I was listening to was Friends on number 3. And that is the second song, right after Immigrant Song. So this is bringing it all right back. I got into Zeppelin first at age 18. Here it is, 30 years later. Getting into him again for a fourth time, and we have C Music to thank for it because he has no idea who these people are.
I got into Black Rabbit. It's another Jason Bateman production where he's directing. Him and Jude Law play brothers. Watch the first 2 episodes of that. I think it's going to be 8 episodes or so. But the music, he's wearing like a Pixies t-shirt, like he's always wearing some other band's t-shirt. And one of the cool things about whenever I think you said you watched Ozark. The first time I watched Ozark, the first 2 or 3 episodes, you're like, oh my goodness, this is dragging. He's doing the same thing with Black Rabbit. Like it's the same kind. But what kept me coming back was the music's amazing. The same thing in this one, just like in Ozark. If you're out there and you like music, fan of thrillers, man, it's definitely pretty cool.
You know, one thing I hate is when somebody tells you how great a show is, but it's going to take you 4 episodes to really get into it. You're like, that's so 4 hours before I finally realize I want to watch this. Ozark was like that. I had to tell myself, it's like you open a book, be like, well, this book stinks. Yeah, give it 50 pages. I haven't read 50 pages in the last 2 years, for crying out loud, unless it's been game notes or something. So yeah, I need all of you writers who are writing shows, get the good stuff in quickly so that you drag us in really early. Which is basically what All the President's Men was like, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know what C Music did as far as the Led Zeppelin was concerned, but it sounded, Matt, like he might have done his Robert Redford homework.
Would you like Unit, C Movie? Did you watch both of them?
So they were both kind of similar movies, slow building, but, very entertaining throughout. You could kind of feel the tension growing, and, yeah, it was just real entertainment. You couldn't really miss any of it because everything was important in the movie.
We wanted to be like a Bobby Petrino offense, Phil. You wanted to score 28 points in the first half and then lay an egg in the second half.
So that's why I really like All the President's Men, because it's nice and steady for all 4 quarters of the movie. You know what you're going to get from the start to the end, and it is as tense as it is. And I love that movie. I absolutely love All the President's Men, and I was close to putting it on the other day. C Movie. It's just listening to Zeppelin is a lot easier because you can go do it anywhere you're going, taking a walk, driving a car, watching a movie. It's very focused, So All the President's Men. Who was the president in All the President's Men?
Richard Nixon.
Thank goodness. I think he watched the movie, Matt. Woo. I feel really good about this.
We give him a gold star. I know you give Bubba the gold stars, but I think Unit needs one for that.
What is the newspaper that they both worked for?
The Washington Post.
Very good. See, this is the most he's ever gotten a pop quiz correct. This is terrific. What was the name of the character that Robert Redford played?
Bob Woodward.
Oh, gosh, he's 3 for 3.
Yeah, Bob Woodward.
Matt, somebody had to win this week, and I think C Movie has.
What was his character in Spy Game?
I
told it to you right before we started the show. Nathan Muir.
Yeah, Muir.
2 out of 3 ain't bad, but 3 out of 4 is good.
Sounds like he liked. I thought he'd like Spy Game better. It sounds like he'd like President's Men better.
All the President's Men is one of the best movies ever made. Love it. So that's good. So you do need to listen to some Zeppelin, though.
I will. Yeah.
It doesn't take any effort. It's just putting it onto the car. That's all it is. And I had questions ready for you for Led Zeppelin, but I'm going to have to wait for next week, I guess. Such a disappointment. It's all right. I'm glad.
Well, my whole Saturday pretty much consisted of
what was the
trying to process what happened.
What was the baseball team
in the game
that Brad Pitt wore the hat of?
The baseball team that Brad Pitt wore
in Spy Game.
In Spy Game, was it the Is it the Red Sox?
There's 30 of them. You can take some guesses.
Tony Gwynn.
Oh, the Padres.
Great.
Nice.
See, we'll give him the right one for that.
There we go.
He got that one.
I'm just glad he took an interest and did it, Phil.
Well, he is right, though. I mean, he had to worry about doing Hog Reaction on Saturday and just digesting all of that. Then there was the Cowboys game on Sunday. So why do you even want to watch football anymore, Seamu? You just need to watch movies every weekend. Forget about football.
It's not looking good. I mean, both teams have issues just about every place you can have them. It's not like one little simple fix. But for the Cowboys, the issue's been pretty constant for a long time. So it's, it doesn't help when your defense is terrible, kind of like Arkansas, and your best players on another team, and your best player on offense is hurt now. It's just, it doesn't look good.
CeeDee Lamb's hurt?
Yeah.
Don't worry, Christian. It's only 3 games in. There's another 14 of these to go.
Yeah,
Arch Manning leading the Dallas Cowboys next year.
Their defense is
I see it in the future.
Awful, man. Awful.
Maybe I'll give him an assignment to stop watching the Cowboys for the rest of the year.
That won't be a hard one.
Did you follow through on that? You're going to go my direction with the Pirates? I watched one Pirates game.
I can't even be excited about the Cubs, really, because, I know they're in the playoffs, but they hadn't been playing great. And then you got, Arkansas and the Cowboys letting me down. It's kind of just,
Sounds like life sucks. I don't know which direction to go, man. At least you got a job that you like with 2 guys who really enjoy messing around with you.
My job keeps my mind off of it. So
yeah, well, good thing. We get to do this another 4 days. And then you know what happens after that? You got to watch Arkansas Notre Dame.
Yeah.
At least it's at 11. You can get it out of the way, continue on with your day.
Yeah, we can continue on with our day, too. So let's do that and break and wrap up halftime right after this.
I'll keep you in the right direction if I can, but that's all. Just follow the money.
This is halftime.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
If it rumbles, roars, or needs a little more power, take it to Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports in Clarksville. From muffler and catalytic converter repair to full custom exhaust systems, they've got you covered. Need welding or mobile welding along with equipment repair? They do that too. Custom fabrication done right. Located at 215 East Taylor Road. For performance, precision, and power, it's Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports. Call today at 479-214-2729 or stop by today.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Contractors, you've got jobs to win and customers to impress. That's why you choose Luxair HVAC systems, built for performance, efficiency, and reliability. And at J&B Supply, we've had your back since 1968. We're a local family-owned distributor that treats our customers like family too, with the products, expertise, and service you need to get the job done right. For over 50 years, HVAC and plumbing pros have trusted J&B Supply in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville. J&B Supply, where the professionals go.
Around here, we don't just know your name. We know your dad's favorite truck and your kid's baseball team. That's how it is when you've been in the same town for 90 years. At Hug Chevrolet GMC, we believe in handshakes, hometown service, and treating you like family. Because you're not just a customer, you're a neighbor. Hug Chevrolet GMC, the people, The place, the pride.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
We said our goodbye. Love was in your eyes. Now today I find you will change your mind. Treat me like you did the night before.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Let's go to the Lewis Automotive Hotline here to wrap up this show, and Bill from Springdale is here. Hey, Bill, appreciate you calling. What's going on?
Hey, guys. Just trying to get through this Monday. Really rough loss on Saturday. I think most people are very frustrated with the defensive side. Of course, like you guys said, it is the ultimate team sport, so it takes the offense and the defense. I was looking at some stats of some players, trying to understand maybe the secondary, so I drilled down into Larry Worth, and I noticed something here. Alabama A&M, he had 2 tackles. Arkansas State, he had 3. Ole Miss, he had 5. Memphis, he had 9. So it's progressively, our secondary is having more and more tackles, which tells me they're not doing their job up front, and the linebackers are not getting, or maybe they're getting tackles. I don't know. Maybe it's all about how many possessions the other team has. However, what's frustrating for me and a lot of fans is I thought our D-line and our linebackers were supposed to be our strength. That's not panning out. So I'm curious on your thoughts on that. Why is our secondary having to make tackles, and then they take bad angles, and they're out of position, and the whole thing kind of breaks down?
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, that's a good point. And when your secondary makes a lot of tackles, it's usually the other team getting a first down. You know, that's because they are going downfield, and that's not a good thing when your secondary is leading your team in tackles.
I'm not really sure what the strength of the defense is right now. I don't know. The coaches never put it on the defensive line. They talked about not having a lot of depth on the defensive line. Quincy Rhodes actually has played well.
He's a beast.
I like Rhodes.
Yeah.
You want to go positive for a moment? 4 tackles for a loss for Quincy Rhodes, 2 more sacks, 5 sacks total in the first 4 games. He's growing. He's developing. That's great.
Another positive, field goal kicker just drilled it from 47 yards.
I heard you on Hog Reaction. That was your first positive.
It's the only positive I saw.
It was the first one you could think of. That's for sure. Well, have we solved all the world's problems
Therapy
today?
Monday. I like Celebratory Monday, Phil, but, Therapy Monday, sometimes it has to happen.
Yeah, I just don't want to make this a weekly appointment with the therapist.
Well, you have to have expectations to lower them. That's for sure. The thing with this Hog team on expectations is there's not any. So now you don't have to worry about Therapy Monday because you're not expecting anything.
By the way, didn't they screw you over too with your who did you pick for your Survivor Series? You picked Mizzou, didn't you?
I did not pick Missouri.
Did you pick Arkansas?
No, that was against Arkansas State.
That was State. That's right.
When I took.
So I had who did I have? I had Missouri. That's right. You had Tennessee. That's right. I had Mizzou, and they did beat South Carolina, and you had Tennessee, and they wanted it to walk over UAB. So we're still going, and then Florida keeps losing. C-movie. So that means you do too. And guess who doesn't play this week? Florida. So it's another day of him being in last place.
I feel tacos in the air.
Can you smell them already?
Ooh.
Smells like lengua tacos in the air. See taco. Have you ever had a lengua taco?
I don't believe so.
Do you know what that is?
No.
You might go to your closest Mexican restaurant and order it and see what they give you.
Lengua taco.
Lengua tacos. You can thank me tomorrow. Matt,
All
you know what that is, don't you?
A little mole. You got it. Y'all serve mole here?
Just do a quick Spanish lesson for you here. See movie. The word language. What is a very important piece of how you speak language?
Your tongue.
Yes. So what do you think lengua is?
Oh.
Go ahead and order that and see what you think.
Oh.
Really, really
Cow tongue?
slimy, tasty. I think maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't.
I
but now
like
you gotta
pig's
order
feet. I like hogs, malls.
I think I'll pass on the tongue.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to leave that there. The music could start playing any moment now. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. It's been fun today. Yeah, and the lingua tacos actually do taste good. You just have to know exactly what it is you're eating, because I think if you're told what you're eating while it's in your mouth, that may end up on the floor. Ruskin and Zach coming up in just a couple of minutes. Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast has all the highlights, which is basically the entire 3 hours of the show today. Certainly it's got our conversations with Mike Irwin, Dr. Charlie Liggett, and with Connor O'Gara. And then tomorrow, Clay Henry's back, and we get to hash all this out over again. Sounds like fun, doesn't it? For Matt Jones and Kristen Johnston, I'm Phil. That's halftime. Have a great rest of your Monday. Get up, get out, and get better.